Alright, this is King Bucho. Welcome to BDA Boxing, the boxing debate arena. That's my new pronunciation of arena. Let's see who we have in the chat. Same Brit, Triple JJJ, Nes Mendoza, Boxing Virus, The Quacks, Uncle Burnt Apostrophe. Who else do we have? The Shepherd Sons, Don Hearn, who's like a mixture of Don King and Eddie Hearn. A very powerful mixture. Why isn't Cam on in the previous show no more? He doesn't like the show anymore. He says it sucks. The Quack says, roll that R, Bucho. Fucking weirdo. Jason Bourne, I'm here to save what? Save Jews? Jews? I don't know. Oh, God. Alright, anyways. This is a prediction show. We had no choice but to make this show today because the fight is on Thursday. I'm on the Eastern Coast, and from what I understand, the fight's gonna be at 5 a.m. on Thursday. So if we wanna get the predictions in, we better do it now, or else it's gonna be like too late. You know, if we do a prediction show on Wednesday, it's kind of like it's a day before the fight. We're not gonna do that. Nordic Warrior says, great fight this one. It's amazing. How is it? Richard Schaefer. It's gonna be an amazing fight. Both fighters are coming to fight. They have something to prove. That's the way to sell a fight. Joe Lopez says 5 a.m. on Thursday. That sucks. That's what I've been told. Somebody please confirm, but I'm pretty sure that that's the time at which the fight will start. It's gonna suck. Nordic Warrior says Donaire can pull off the upset if he can avoid getting stopped early. He can chin check Inoue for the first time in his career. Yep. Mr. BDA, he made a video. I don't know if he posted it, but he showed me, like he sent me the video so I could just check it, and it's true. Inoue, his defense is very porous. He gets hit a lot. You can see his neck snapping back. Now he has a good chin, I believe, because those punches didn't stop him from coming forward. But I don't know. Donaire, man, say what you want. He still has a left hook. BDA Boxing says check the videos out on BDA Live. Yeah, we have a bunch of videos actually on Inoue and Donaire. You guys should check those videos out. They are fight analysis videos made by Mr. BDA. I'm gonna find the link later and post it. Actually, that's a good idea. Check those out. Those videos are on BDA Live, which is our second channel. So for those of you who don't know, we have a second channel called BDA Live. I know it's confusing, BDA and BDA Live. We should change the name of that second channel. Alright, now I'm gonna invite people now to the Hangouts. So give me a few seconds. In the meantime, let me just play some music. What do we have here? What is this? Ooh. Powerful. Scary. Ideal for the fight that we're gonna be having this Thursday. What the fuck is this music? This music is distracting the shit out of me, man. Sorry. Gotta stop this, man. Somebody saying what the hell is this sci-fi music? Alright. I'm looking for Gonzalo because Gonzalo usually comes in every time I call him. You know what? Let's call Pete also. Get Pete in here. Oh, by the way, we're gonna open the phone lines. Oh no, yeah, I wanted to ask you guys in the chat. All right, I heard a lot of people on Discord say that they don't want to talk about Kovalev and Canelo anymore. I think I agree with that. But I am a man of the people, so I will let you decide. Do you guys want to continue this talk? Because I'm sure like people are gonna call in. And instead of talking about Inoue against Donaire, they're going to start talking about Canelo Kovalev again. And I know Muscle Memory, he kept insisting to come in the show and to call in because he didn't have an opportunity to give us his take on the fight. And so I'm pretty sure he will call in today and talk about Canelo Kovalev. So what are people saying over here? The Quack says, I'll talk about it. Travis the Chimp says, I demand Canelo versus Kovalev fixed rematch. Dog says, ban anyone who talks about Canelo versus Kovalev. Jason Bourne says, LDC, I know Kovalev through the fight. Triple JJJ says, how many callers tonight that never heard of either? I say 3. Alright. Buddy Aces says, it's going to be hard for fans, so give it a pass. You know what? I'll give it a pass, but we're gonna have to keep it short, alright? I want to really talk about Inoue and Donaire. It's a great fight. So, let's see. Alright. Now let me call Gonzalo. He has 2 accounts now. Alright.
King Bucho?
Oh, yeah, what's up? Pete, I knew you were gonna jump on as soon as I called you. But welcome to the show. Alright, he's probably driving or on a boat. With cocaine or something. Alright. We're gonna talk about Inoue and Donaire. So everybody get your predictions ready because we're gonna write them down. The phone lines are gonna be open in about a few minutes. Just letting you know, guys. I want to make this an open show, guys. So for those who are the BDA regulars, I'm going to be posting the link up and anybody can join. But
A free-for-all.
A free-for-all. But just understand that when we take phone calls, can't all just jump in, all right? No matter how crazy the caller is, because I hear that excuse. Well, I know, but the caller's crazy. I have to say something. Keep it to yourself. Control yourselves. All right. All right, Pete. What's your take on this fight, and do you have a prediction? Because I'm gonna write it down.
I got the Asian by knockout.
That's a good prediction.
I think Inoue's got it. I don't know how many times Donaire can go to the well. You know what I'm saying? He's getting along in the tooth for this shit. Inoue's he's got the, how do you call it, the power?
Yeah. All right, Pete, by the way, we can barely hear you. I know you're driving or something. Just give us the round in which you think Inoue is going to stop Donaire.
The 5th.
Ooh. All right, you're the first prediction in here. Let's see what people are saying in the chat. Alan R says Donaire is bigger but more shop-born. Jason Bourne says no Rigo quite Kovalev through the fight, big difference. Still talking about Kovalev and Canelo. Doc says people are a bit delusional, probably Donaire is washed. Okay, so did Ryan Burnett retire or not? And why did he retire? Because that might tell us something about whether he actually got hurt by a body shot from Donaire, or he actually just pulled his back because he has some major serious back problems. Because if he retired though because of that, then... Because then, remember guys, Donaire after that, he in the semifinals, he didn't fight Tete, the African guy. He fought a replacement, this American guy who was short. And then he got knocked out, obviously the American. So, I mean, can we question the way Donaire made it into the final? That's just my question. Just putting it out there. The Shepherd of Sun says Burnett had back issues. Yeah, Boxing Fighter says yes, continuous back issues. Okay. So yeah.
Gotta call Dr. 805.
Yeah, let's ask him a bunch of questions. The Hand History Vault says don't pick Donaire, guys, because old men can't win fights. Okay, I think he's being sarcastic. Diego Bandido says Donaire has a puncher's chance. One left hook from Soul Patch can end the night. Donaire has fought a similar style to Inoue. Yeah, the experience obviously goes to Donaire. And Donaire has fought bigger men. I mean, he fought Walters. You know, Walters, you could say he's a lightweight. You know what I mean? But then again, he is 36 in one of those smaller weight divisions. So speed is key. Go ahead, Pete. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's where I was going earlier.
Mm-hmm.
He's 37 years old?
36, 37. People in the chat, let me know.
Yeah, man. He's a small frame guy to begin with, but Donaire's always been kind of a taller. Seems like he's always been at a bigger frame than the guys who've been fighting. He makes the weight.
Yeah.
Just like me, makes the weight. I do. The thing is, you know, also a little chinny, you know, making that weight. I think I'm just kind of talking out my ass, to be honest with everybody. If I recall, a little chinny, and Inoue seems to have that pop, as we say over in Japan.
Oh shit!
Might be a short one.
Okay. People in the chat, Donaire is a slob. Canelo says Donaire is a slob. Okay. Jason Bourne says Nery is a weight bully. Or maybe PEDs.
Wait, does Nery fight in that same division?
Nery is at 122, no? Yeah. No, but this. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah. No, wait, hold on. Whoa. No, this tournament is the bantamweight tournament. Yeah, it's not a super bantamweight tournament. Hold on. Yeah. Jesus, it was getting me confused. Doc says people forget that Donaire was losing rounds in his last fight because of the KO. Against Brian Burnett, yeah, exactly. Well, some people say that he was winning that fight, or it was close. I thought Burnett was winning. But then again, I mean, we didn't have enough time to actually make a proper assessment of how good Donaire is right now.
Yeah, for refresh my recollection on that last fight, injury or something, not an injury, but Donaire got in the tournament in the first place on some, not that he was gifted anything, but did he default his way in or something like that? He advanced. Yeah,
if you remember, the first fight in the quarterfinals, he fought Ryan Burnett. Burnett threw a right hand, and it looked like he overextended with the right hand, and he hurt his back, and so he quit in the corner. Now other people believe that it was actually Donaire who hurt Burnett to the body multiple times, and so that led to the injury. So yeah, but there's news now that Ryan Burnett retired because he had constant back issues or injuries. So maybe we can dismiss the theory that Donaire was the one who hurt. Oh, or maybe, listen, if you have a back problem and you're getting hit to the body, then yeah, that's gonna help, right? So we don't know. Okay, so and then Donaire advanced to the semifinals, and he was supposed to fight the African guy Tete. And then Tete dropped out, and so Donaire ended up fighting this American guy, who's obviously not I mean, he's not even well known. And Donaire knocked him out, and then that's how Donaire made it to the final. So that's why I was asking people. Yeah, so did he really deserve to win the final? Well, I guess so. I mean,
Oh yeah, I mean, he's there by
He's there.
He's
exactly.
there, but man.
And he's there, and he did show us that he still has power at 118, so he's not that drained or anything. When he knocked out the American guy, sorry, I forgot his name. And he obviously has the experience. I mean, this guy was a pound for pounder.
Oh yeah.
So, he's dangerous. He's still dangerous. He's a big bantamweight. Donaire, somebody said in the chat that Inoue his chin hasn't been tested. And so...
The whole tournament, sounds like.
Mm-hmm. Can he catch one of those Donaire hooks? Maybe not. So that's why this is an interesting fight.
It's at 5 a.m., Bucho? What's up with that?
It's 5 a.m. on Thursday. It's in Japan. Yeah. You need people take a day off, seriously. Because this fight's worth it.
Waking me up early for these two.
Rather take a day. I mean, yeah. If you can manage, then sure. Whoever has superior hand speed will win, says Alan R. Well, who has... I thought it was a foregone conclusion that Inoue has more speed, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. What do people think? Alright, guys, you know what? I'm going to open the phone lines. Give me 2 seconds.
Yeah, somebody call in with more knowledge than me about this, because I'm really probably the worst to pick up a guess.
Yeah, I'm not an expert either on, like... I mean, you have to dissect Donaire's or Inoue's career. Especially Inoue's career. I'm not the most qualified person. I'm pretty sure somebody is. We should get Reverse Lee. If you're listening, you should join the show. I know you follow he follows the lower weights like he's an expert on that.
Miggs is all over it, man.
Where the hell is Miggs? Did I call Miggs? Hold on.
It's only midnight over there. Call him up.
Yeah. It's hard to find people because they all have different names on YouTube and on Discord. So, there he is. All right.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Recognize.
I want to know what was your pick, Mr. Recognize.
You scared the shit out of me. Who was doing the voice? Was it Pete or was it Recognize?
It was me, Bucho, Vinny Mac.
I was like, what the
We
fuck?
both do it.
Oh, it's
We're
getting
both
creepy. It's getting creepy.
Let me get my notebook.
Oh.
What's your name?
I'm just calling in to tell Mr. Recognize that's not funny.
You know, Vinny, that little bastard's got balls. You heard him. He goes, "Okay, Bucho, I need you to get the following people." And he read off a 10-man roster.
Yeah.
like he was gonna line them up and make them explain themselves. Get out of here, Vinny Mac.
I need apology on the line right now. It's like, what the hell? Yeah, we're gonna get him on the line. Like,
just for you,
Christ.
just for you,
yeah,
Vinny
just
Mac.
for you, man.
Got a little fucking black and white memo notebook.
It's a dirty ass notebook, written with blood and shit. Come on, no.
It's the same way you write down everybody's predictions on. Remember, you used to write it down, quote unquote, before you start typing them in. And BDA would be like, "Okay, who predicted what?" And Bucho's like, 6 shuffling papers." Oh,
I think that bastard called me. I'm gonna call you Mr. Unrecognizable.
It's pretty clever.
Yeah, he tries to get a little joking once in a while, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Vinny Mac, he types that list on an old typewriter, so to make it all creepy.
You remember in Rain Man when he'd pull out that spiral notebook and write down all the offenses? Like, I'm gonna write that down.
Same scene.
Oh yeah.
So this fight's on a Thursday, right?
Yeah, Thursday at 5 a.m.
5 a.m. Matrix.
You know what?
Rise and shine. Rise and shine.
I might be up still at that time, so I'll watch it.
Good for you.
My on the DAZN app, you know.
Yeah.
Put
the phone.
Put a little headphones on and watch the fight.
Hey Bucho, Listen, man. I just want to apologize on air so everybody could hear it. About the noise earlier, man. I was fucked up.
You got a yellow
I was
card.
trying to do it.
So
All right, I'll take a yellow card. I'll
alright.
chew it up, and smack it out of your hand.
Jesus Christ.
But I'm seriously though. I apologize. I didn't realize how bad it was.
That's okay. Alright, the phone lines are open, people. I repeat, the phone lines are open. Call in. The number is on your screen. Let's stick to the topic at hand. I know some of you are gonna call in and say that you didn't get a chance to give us your take on Saturday's fight, the Canelo Kovalev fight. But come on, let's stick to the topic, please.
Yes, good topic.
Inoue against Donaire. Now,
Donaire.
it's Donaire. Jesus
No, I think
Christ.
you're right. It's Donaire.
Donaire.
It's like French or some shit. I don't know.
Donaire. Yeah.
So he basically, I mean, not that he was up to anything, but god dang, he basically just like coasted his ass into this final, man. It's crazy. I mean, out of his control, all this stuff, but damn.
All right, so he beats Ryan Burnett,
Yes.
who might have had a back problem.
Well, he retired, by the way, if you didn't know.
Right, but yeah, so
Yeah,
he
okay.
retired. So there must have been back issues going into that fight.
Yeah.
Then he beats. What was the guy's name? The black
I
kid.
don't remember.
I don't even know who he is.
Arnold?
Who gave him a decent fight? He looked like he might have taken some rounds, even. But
yeah, he was slippery.
he was close.
He was
close. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was losing, but he might have won a round or two. But and he knocks that guy out. Now he's gonna fight Inoue, who looks like he's on the come up. A lot of explosive power, some leaky defense.
Oh yeah.
I say Inoue beats him.
Oh, okay. Wait, hold on. Let's write that down. All right, I'm gonna show you guys a list here. All right, give us your prediction.
They got Inoue by 7th round knockout. TKO knockout. 1, 2.
7th?
Yeah. 7th round.
All right.
What if Inoue blows his ACL out right when he gets out for round 1? Just blows his knee out. Can't continue. Richard Schaefer, Big Rich, has to come out with that trophy. Nonito.
The fight's in Japan, by the way, so the crowd's gonna be going apeshit every time Inoue throws or lands something. So you forget about Donaire winning a decision, in my opinion.
Yeah.
All right,
Donaire's not winning by no decision, that's for sure.
we have a bunch of phone calls already. Let's see.
Oh shit.
Let's check a
Well,
list.
Inoue's got a big fan base, so don't be surprised it's all Inoue fans.
Yeah, it's anime fans.
Mashi.
Hentai fans. All right, let's take a phone call. 337. Oh wait, hold on. I need to do something here. Hold on, caller. Just give me 2 seconds. I need to.
All right, 2 seconds up.
3. All right, hold on. All right. Go. Oh Jesus. Go ahead. Ah. All right, got it. Go ahead, caller.
Yo, what's up? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, is this Dead Game?
Yeah.
All right, Dead Game. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, it's Dead Game. What's happening, family?
What's going on? Apparently, Dead Game's a huge Inoue fan.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah, I am, bro. I am Inoue. Like he said, the fight is in Japan. Japanese promotion. I'm thinking Inoue by knockout.
Round.
No need to. I would say round 5.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with
Attaboy.
round 5.
Yeah.
My man.
Like a spectacular knockout. But oh boy, it's a little dangerous though. So we should see a good fight. He's gonna come to fight, and that's probably why he's gonna get knocked out. Knew he's gonna be ready.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it, babe. I gotta run.
All right, man. Thanks for the call.
Peace, Dead Game.
All right,
See you, buddy.
Okay. Max Patty in the chat says Kovalev always makes pound for pound #1 frauds look bad. Jesus Christ, people won't let that fight go. Well, thank you for the contribution.
They're messing with you. You know what it is, Bucho?
Yeah.
You mentioned it, and so now.
No,
now you-
no. It doesn't matter. They were gonna talk about it anyways. All right, I think we have another phone call here. Yeah, we do have a bunch of phone calls. G Boogie, is that you?
Ohio gozaimasu.
All right, welcome to the show.
Boogie-san. Boogie-san.
Are you there? I think you're cutting off. Hello.
He's getting chased by the cops.
Yeah, is that the siren's coming from? Is that recognized?
That's my fucking ass. That's my fucking ass sitting in
Yeah,
traffic.
they call him
he's getting a ticket. Fucking.
Look at it.
If you guys can see, fucking Pete's driving at the same time and everything, like fuck, man. All right.
I'm not driving anywhere.
Pull over.
I'm faster than this. I'm
Pull your
sitting.
car over.
Going to the airport, like
I'm on a low speed chase like OJ.
Are you driving a white Bronco?
I would. If they chased me right now, I wouldn't stop. I swear to God, I'd keep going. I'm about 15 minutes from the factory. I swear to God, I keep going. I'm like, what? Oh, you're behind me?
All right. We have another phone call here. I believe it's Undercover Asian. 626, you're on the air. 626.
626.
Yeah, hi, this is Chris, Undercover Agent.
Yeah, Chris. Welcome to the show.
Hey.
Yep.
Hey, what's up? Thanks for having me. First of all, I just wanted to say it's Inoue.
Oh my God! All right, Inoue.
Got it.
Inoue.
Inoue.
It literally means Inoue.
Oh, you know it.
I know it. Yeah,
I got
Inoue,
you.
no, yeah. Yeah, no, I just wanted to chime in. I don't know if I told you guys, I lived in Tokyo for a long time, and I've been to a few boxing events over there.
Oh wow!
Nice.
How's the atmosphere over there?
Yeah, I was gonna say, you know what? It's it doesn't get rowdy. Like people get really hyped up, but you know they don't go crazy. Nobody has fights or anything really.
Of course.
Yeah, it's pretty organized, but they're really passionate, you know.
Oh, great, man. So what's your prediction for this fight?
Yeah, you know, I think Donaire really didn't show us a lot in his 2 fights in the tournament, you know. I think Inoue is too fast, you know, and then he's got way too much pop. I think Inoue maybe 5th or 6th round TKO or KO, just a straight KO, not a stoppage.
5th round.
Nice.
Yeah, 5th. I'll go with 5th round.
Perfect.
Oh, fuck off.
Already 3 people going with the 5th round. There might be something there, people.
Yeah, because you know, it doesn't seem like he really needs to break guys down. I mean, I know like a few of his fights have gone a few rounds, but sometimes he'll just crack them once or twice and they're done. Like, what was the last fight? Was it Manny?
My buddy. My Puerto
Manny
Rican
fought?
buddy.
The Puerto Rican guy, yeah. I mean, he didn't really break him down, right? It was the first clean shot.
And he basically just chin checked him. Said, go home.
Yeah, that was a perfect shot. Yeah, right on the chin. So, but then again, he fought that other guy a couple years ago at the StubHub Center, and it took him like 5 or 6 rounds of pounding the body till the guy finally, the corner stopped it. So, you know, I don't know. I guess it depends on how Donaire's reactions are.
Yeah.
Or his reflexes, I should say.
Good point. But, you know, there's always a guy that a puncher struggles with. You know what I mean? Like, you look at Mike Tyson. It was, you know, was it Bone Crusher Smith or something? He couldn't knock him out. Like, it happens that, you know, sometimes they come up with this guy that just can't knock out. You know what I mean?
Right. I think that's where going to the body really pays off, right? And if you can't knock a guy out, just destroy his body. And, you know, is definitely good at that.
Mm-hmm. All right.
I mean, even Golovkin, right? We saw him with his iron chin. You know, if you pound his body enough, he'll start to kind of definitely break down.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, great comparison. Anything else you want to add?
No, yeah, just really looking forward to the fight. I don't think I'm gonna stay up to watch it though. I'll just try not to read any news feeds.
Yeah. All right.
Oh man.
Smart. All right, man. Thanks for the
Okay,
call.
thanks for
And
having
your
me.
prediction is
Inoue.
Inoue. All right, Inoue 5th round stoppage, says Chris. All right, guys, take care.
All right. Okay, thank you.
All right, we have another phone call. Vinny?
How you guys doing? This is Vin.
Are you eating something?
He's always got something in his mouth. He got braces, man.
Your mouth? Okay, go ahead, Vinny. Go ahead.
No, I don't have nothing in my mouth, guys. I just have something to add, Mr. BDA.
Yeah.
You have a life
man. All right, go ahead.
because you had a morning podcast,
Yes.
and I have what it's called a job,
Yeah.
and I couldn't get on.
Oh, that's too bad, man.
So, yes.
We miss your presence. But now you're here, so everything's fine. Vinny, Inoue against Donaire. Give us your take on this fight.
Yes, sure, Mr. Bucho. With this fight, I see Mr. Inoue ending this in less than 7. Donaire's past it, guys. I mean, he's a power puncher, but he's flat-footed. Mr. Inoue will destroy him, and this will be another knockout victory. And I'm really high on this kid. He is very impressive, and he will make a lot of noise in when he moves up to 122, I believe.
Yeah. Can you just give us a specific round, please?
Sure, Mr. Bucho. I would say round 7. Let's go 7.
Let's go 7.
Stoppage.
Okay. Yep.
Yes.
All right.
He will destroy him.
Will this be
And
competitive?
yes, one more thing.
Yeah, will this be competitive?
Yes,
though?
go ahead, sir.
Will this be a competitive fight until the knockout, or it's not gonna be competitive at all?
No, Mr. Bucho. This will not be competitive. This will be accumulative punishment. I would say 7 because he's so much bigger than Inoue, but it could end in less than 7.
Okay. Anything else?
And yes, for Mr. Canelo, yes, he is a cheater, but he's grown on me. Since he's been moving up these weight classes, it's been looking very impressive. So I just want to say here at the BDA podcast that I have him as my number 2, pound for pound. Okay. And he's over Mr. Bud Crawford. Okay. He's just been looking very impressive, Mr. Canelo Alvarez. So he's grown on me. He actually has grown on me. And I must say, I'm very impressed. So he's my number 2 pound for pound. Thanks, Mr. Bucho.
All right, thanks for the call, Vinny. A non-controversial win this time. A rare scene. Before we continue, I just wanna give a shout out to the Heart History Vault. Thank you for your donation. He says Donaire by KO round 10. Okay, I will write that in the list. And he says, let's all agree, fight not fixed. Hope you're not talking about Canelo and Kovalev. We're not supposed to talk about that fight anymore. Chris K says, X Factor is Inoue's history of hand injuries. We'll take a close look at that. Let's continue with the phone calls here. 818, you're on the air. 818.
Hello?
Yes, is this...
Ucho?
Yeah, Muscle?
Yeah, take a wild guess.
I think... do you have the Joker movie uploaded now?
Okay, so before I begin, I wanted to ask is, what's his name? Unrivaled? Is Mark on the panel by any chance?
Mark is not here.
No? Oh, that's unfortunate. Maybe you guys could send him this message for me.
Yes.
Tell him instead of being so invested in fixed fights and
Mhm.
so emotional and being bitter and hating on people's channels for bringing out the full fights for the public.
Hmm.
If I were him, he's from Ireland, right?
That is correct.
Yeah, I would be a bit more concerned about the fact that, say, in 6 or 7 years, he's going to be a minority in his own country.
Oh. Did you think about that?
Yeah.
All right. Anything else?
Let
Anything
that
else,
sink in.
Muscle? You want to talk about the fight?
Inoue,
Yeah. Inoue.
I'll save it for like later this week.
Oh,
I
well,
don't know at the moment.
sure. Yeah, we should have another show by then. The fight's on Thursday, by the way, people. Don't forget, it's not on Friday, it's not on Saturday, it's on Thursday, 5 a.m. Eastern time.
Oh, that's right.
All
Yeah.
right, so you don't want to give us your prediction. You don't feel ready right now?
I guess I don't know. In a way, 7th round knockout.
Okay. Let me just write it down. Muscle says Inoue. Stoppage 7. I wrote mucus. Muscle. All right. All right. Muscle. Anything else? That's it?
Well, I'm guessing you guys
No.
don't want to discuss the Kovalev Canelo further.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I was trying to hop in there, man, because you guys were like 3-on-1, 4-on-1 with Precise, you know, like I'm like, tag me in, you know, let's even out the
Yeah,
playing
but I
field,
wanted to have a conversation with Precise,
fine,
and
like-
if we let you in, it's gonna just create more chaos. You know, I couldn't get my
yeah, of
questions
course.
in,
But I
so
understand though, because like it's cool. I understand, you know, thinking. It's irritating, you know, when filled with mercury.
Huh?
Anyways, all right, guys.
all right.
There you go.
Have a good night. Oh boy. All right.
Have a great night.
Jesus,
Have a
I'm getting
fantastic
scared,
night.
man. All right, 757. Oh, it's G Boogie again, I think. G Boogie.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. What's up, man?
What's up, gentlemen? I'm sorry about that earlier. It cut off on me. I was walking into a secured location.
Ah, I see. All right, welcome to the
Yeah, I had
show. Inoue, Donaire, your thoughts and your prediction, please.
My thoughts, my passion is with the old man. Okay, I like the underdog because he could cause havoc for the young man, and that's just my opinion. And he does, anyway, is susceptible to a left and a right, and Donaire got both. So I can't count the old man out. But logically speaking, I have to go with Inoue in the 6th round knockout.
Okay.
But my heart is with the old man.
Yeah. I understand. A lot of us are with Donaire because of his career. He's, it would be a great way to end his career. Imagine if he wins the whole tournament. Yeah.
And if I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
And if Donaire do pull it out, it will be in the 4th round.
Okay. Let me add
Clips
that.
him coming in with that leaky defense.
Excuse me?
Clips him coming in with that leaky defense, you see, right?
Yes, sir.
Donaire clip him with that.
Mm-hmm.
The way he comes in sometimes with his hands down.
And I give it within, for Donaire, I give him between 1 and 5 rounds. And then if he don't pull it by then, the young man is he's gonna fix up his defense, and he's gonna come in with power, nothing but power to take him out.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
All right, G Boogie, anything else?
That what happened?
Anything else?
No, sir. Have a great day.
All right,
Or
man.
evening.
Take care. Call back if you feel like you need to call back. All right, take care.
All right, brother. Peace.
All right, that was
Peace.
All right, let's one more phone call, then we move to the panel. 407, you're on the air. 407.
That's Boricua.
Hey, guys, it's Boricua over here.
Oh, Boricua.
Yeah.
Boricua,
I'm about to change my
pase.
prediction. Hey, I said mid rounds yesterday, but I'm gonna switch it up to 9th round. But it's gonna be a knockout, but not like a Kovalev kind. It's gonna be a Ramirez Poker kind of knockout.
All right, hold on. Boricua.
No, it's not gonna be a fake knockout.
That's
It's
what
gonna be a
he's
real
saying.
knockout.
He's saying.
Yeah.
All right, hold on.
And my dad, he says Inoue by 5th.
All right, hold on. What's your prediction? Because I forgot.
Oh, he got the 5th
Mine is
round. The
9th
company
round.
5 rounds.
Okay, the 5th. Everybody's going with the 5th round, and then who else?
No, I'm going for the 9th. My dad is going for the real Boricua over here is going for the 5th.
So Boricua Senior.
So Boricua Senior is going 9th round.
Senior, yeah. El papá de los pollitos.
All right. Jesus. All right. Anything else?
Yeah, that was it. Y'all have a wonderful evening. God bless.
You too. Take care.
Bless.
All right. We got some predictions in there. We got Precise in here. Is Pete still there?
Yeah.
He
sounds like a mouse. He's like, yeah, you guys hear me?
You guys hear me?
Tell him to call in.
Oh, fuck, that was creepy, man. All right.
Speak again, Pete.
I don't know where the hell. This guy's all over the place, man. He's like, anyways, doing his groceries and everything. All right. Precise, welcome to the show. Oh, we can't hear you.
It's going down today.
Technical issues here.
Precise.
Nah, he's something with his micro. He has issues with Discord, I believe.
Hello?
Pete.
You like that, don't you? Now I'm back, baby.
Exactly.
I had to pull the old school earbuds out. Thank you.
It's like this before. Hello. Can you hear me?
This is Vinny.
Go shoot your cycle that the doctor mailed you yesterday.
Gotta take a IV infusion in a bit.
Diego Bandido says he won't last 12 rounds against a fast, strong pressure fighter. He's talking about Donaire won't be able to last 12 rounds.
If I was Donaire, I'd give it all I got in that first 3 rounds. Try to knock his head off.
Yeah. And he has the power. Like, you know what I mean? It's not like he doesn't. Yeah. So why not? You're not gonna win a decision. Like G Boogie was saying, the longer this fight goes, the more Inoue is gonna start getting confident, fixing his defense and landing hard shots. No. Donaire has to go for it.
Yeah.
Risky.
Donaire.
Hey, let me ask for the 80th time because my headphones were mousy. Is Inoue Inoue a southpaw or what? Yes.
No.
Is what?
No, is Inoue a southpaw?
Is Inoue a southpaw?
No, yeah.
No. Is he?
I'm confused now.
Yeah, I think he's an orthodox fighter. I thought he was. I
don't fucking know, man.
I think he's an orthodox fighter.
No, he's orthodox. Yeah.
What's all the Pacquiao comparisons? I thought that's why. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry about that.
You know what? I actually compare him more with Golovkin. He has more of a Golovkin type. Yeah.
What do you mean? Like his? Except that Golovkin keeps a tighter defense than he does in terms of like. I see what you're saying. He's like that seek and destroy guy. He can make it happen fast too, like Golovkin did. Early in his career.
Doc says the casual show.
Yeah, no shit, right?
Yeah, I
Got
know.
a full panel here. No one knows what the fuck we're talking about.
Oh.
I pulled knockout 5th round like I was throwing a dart at a dartboard.
Okay, BDA wants to join. All right.
Talk some sense into us.
Precise. If you can jump in if your mic works. We'll tell you if we can hear you. If we can't hear you, then nope, we can't. By the way, I think Old Papi sent us his prediction. He says that Gook is gonna win. So that's Old Papi's prediction.
What do you call him? He said the Gook was gonna win.
Yes, which is you know, Old Papi's an old racist.
Yeah.
Well, he fought in Korea, right? So.
No, not Korea. Korea. You know, when I was in Korea.
Weirdo.
Yeah, he is.
Let me get Mr. BDA here. Fuck. Oh, you know what? I'll just call him. Oh. I can't multitask. Jesus Christ.
I think Precise is having mic issues, man.
Yeah, he usually does, but then he manages to fix it, though. Hopefully he does.
I think the host's computer is causing all of this.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah,
yep.
There you go.
Now we can hear you.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, continue.
Would you
hear me?
Yeah.
Yep. Now we can hear you. Okay, why am I hearing myself saying something that I said 20 seconds ago?
I know, that was creepy.
Bucho,
yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
You gotta boost your volume up a little bit. Because people chat. Just a little bit, or maybe, yeah, because you compared to everybody else, you sound a little low.
Okay.
How's everybody doing?
Everybody's doing all right. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for asking. Listen, let's get down to brass tacks here. Because
what the hell's that?
The Inoue thing, and by the way, it's nice to talk about something else other than fucking Canelo Kovalev.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't mean to swear, but that's the way it is. Now, listen, here's my problem with Inoue. I know pound for pound is subjective, but I think people are going a little bit too overboard with the fella. All right? I'm looking at all these people in the comment sections, in message boards, Ring Magazine. They're all praising this guy, top 5 pound for pound. Now think about it. What has he done to be a top 5 pound for pound, right? And I know I'm going to get the Japanese people all riled up, or the Japanese wannabes. That's right, I said it. There's Japanese wannabes out there.
Mm-hmm.
And Inoue has a good record, don't get me wrong. And I do believe that he is a power force. He is a juggernaut. I mean, explosiveness and power like he has doesn't come along every 2 years. And also, he does have good technique to back it up. But check out the videos that we did on over at BDA Live. And we show his liability. Defensive, offensive as well. Well, yeah,
I hear a fucking car honking.
I had traffic in the background there. But the point is, Inoue does have certain flaws. And his resume is pretty thin to be able to to be putting him up there top 5 pound for pound. I mean, think about it. I'm looking at Ring Magazine right now. They have Inoue ahead of Alexander Usyk pound for pound.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now again, pound for pound is subjective, but when you have the Bible of boxing, supposedly having Inoue ahead of Usyk, this just reeks of I don't know. I guess the Japanese yakuza or something. They have something dangling over Golden Boy. Maybe he went over to one of those geisha whorehouses over in Japan, and they got photos of him all dressed up like a geisha. I don't know, but to have Inoue number 4, a little bit ridiculous. That being said, this fight on Thursday, it's going to show us a lot about what Inoue has as a pound for pound power. I'm picking Inoue to win by decision because my trainer logic is Carl Frampton, who is 5'5", just like Inoue, was able to outbox Donaire. I expect Inoue to do the same thing here. I expect this to go 12 rounds. Inoue will probably get hit, and we've never seen him get hit by the type of power that Donaire is going to bring. And let me tell you, that's the other thing. I'm looking at an article here from Ring Magazine where they're talking to Steve Kim, Cole Frampton, Joe Gallagher, Stephen Edwards, who's a trainer. Joe Gallagher is a trainer as well, for those of you who don't know. And they're asking them about to categorize Inoue's power, hand speed, and all that. And they're all saying, they're all singing Inoue's praises about how he's good at this, good at that. But when it comes to They have the power, body attack, balance, economy, and then they have a section called fundamentals. Well, the only person that mentioned Inoue's defensive flaws is called Frampton. Everybody else is talking about the balance and his footwork and all this and that. I'm not talking about his fundamental or defensive flaws. Watch the Carmona fight. He was getting hit plenty. It had nothing to do with his hurt right hand. People say, oh, he injured his right hand. All right, what does that have to do with him getting hit flush with right hands? Anyway, I know I'm rambling, but that's just all I want to say about it.
Unanimous decision in Japan.
Yes, unanimous decision.
It has to be unanimous. Okay, man. And by the way, we just had one prediction for Donaire. Somebody picked Donaire. The hand history vault says Donaire stoppage, 10th round.
Well, I'm glad there's people out there giving Donaire a chance.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the other thing. When Inoue throws the left hook, he drops that right hand very low, very low. Now, sometimes not many people, in fact, nobody so far has been able to catch him with a flush, hard left hook, and that's Donaire's bread and butter. The Rodriguez fight, that was very impressive from Inoue, but he was getting tagged. His defensive flaws were on point again, or demonstrated again. So, Donaire, unfortunately, he doesn't throw many shots. He's pretty conservative. He neglects going to the body. I know he tried to make an effort against Ryan Burnett, but we'll see if he keeps that up in this fight. I'm very interested to see what happens in this fight.
Absolutely. No, yeah, it's a great fight. And but I think logic tells us that Inoue he should win this fight, right? I mean, Mr. BDA, what do you think about the way Donaire made it to the final? Do you begin to question? I mean,
Pretty fortunate.
Like the Burnett stoppage, right?
Well, didn't you tell me that Burnett just retired?
Yeah. Well, just retired. It was like a month ago or something. Yeah.
A month ago?
Yeah. Oh. Now, he had consistent back issues. Now, then again, still, I mean, if you have back issues and you're getting hit to the body, that's not going to help, right? So maybe Donaire did contribute to that stoppage. We don't know, right? But still,
well, let's talk about that. Donaire has never been a consistent body puncher.
Mm-hmm.
Now, all of a sudden, is he going to do it in one of the most important fights of his career? Maybe. I do think a leopard can change his spots. I don't subscribe to that notion that, this guy's 35 years old, so he can never change again. That's BS. If you want to change and you put enough effort into it, you can change. He's going to have to go to the body.
Like Rocky or something, yeah.
He's fucking inspirational today.
Yeah, exactly. He's wearing a head mic. You know those mics there? That...
like,
shit, man,
and by the way, people were giving recognized crap in the chat room last night when we were talking with 5, and people are like, went to the doctor, and the doctor told him he's too masculine.
yeah, bullshit. And then Gonzalo's also like, Mexicans have more testosterone or something. I'm like, man, everybody's trying to fuck. The next guy was gonna say he has a big cock. That has nothing to do with the conversation.
Yeah. Doctor said my balls are too big. It's
what does that mean? What does that mean, doctor? Like, my balls are too big. Like, I can.
Hey, Doc.
I have trouble walking because my.
I said, what, 805. I showed my doctor my balls. He said, really, they're big.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you a picture. There. Can you give me your email so I can send you a picture?
I make every time I fuck a woman, I make her squirt. What is that all about? Am I?
What does that mean? Like, am I okay?
It's my dick, yeah.
All right, hold on. We have D Jefferson on the line.
What's up, D Jefferson?
Oh wait, hold on. Nobody can hear you, D. Hang on.
Hello.
Hi, you're on the air.
What's up, good people? It's D.
What's going on?
Jefferson. What's going on?
Jefferson.
Yeah, I just wanted to say this. Have you guys seen Fred Barbershop's top 5 pound for pound?
Unfortunately, I missed that, but I'm very interested to know what his pound for pound is.
I'm interested in hearing it. What is it?
Charlo, all in the top 5 pound for pound. So
wait, you mean
that's a pound
you
for
talking
pound
about barbershop
anybody
or you conversation, or you talking about X?
Same thing.
No,
man.
I'm talking about Fred Barbershop.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Can you repeat the list? Because all I heard was Charlo
When you think about
and
it like that,
Deontay
can
Wilder, Charlo, Tank, and who else was it? D.
Right. I don't know, but those three was enough. Charlo, Taker, and then Wilder. You got to be kidding me. But
Does that sound like a
to
top
talk
10
about it,
pound for
though,
pound list or a top fighters he roots for?
yeah, I mean, it's just ridiculous. But to speak on Inoue, though, no disrespect to Lomachenko at all, because I think, he's an excellent fighter. But, he doesn't really have a ton of fights. And being that this list is so subjective, you can argue that other people deserve to be on there ahead of Loma. And then some people actually have Loma number one, which I don't agree with, because right now, anyway, I'll put Canelo up there after this past fight. You got Crawford up there. But it's just so subjective, guys. You know what I mean? Everybody don't go by the Bible, the boxing Bible.
Yeah, but still, you got Tank Davis in there. I mean, I'm sorry.
Right, maybe barbershop
No,
conversations.
I don't have Tank Davis
Maybe
in the
barbershop
top 30.
fairness, right? Maybe barbershop conversation hears our top 10 and he's like, get the fuck out of here,
Maybe he has good
Like-
arguments. No,
I'm
but
just saying, like, look, it's subjective, right? Like, he just probably thinks we're nuts. Just like we think he's fucking nuts,
Hey, can I give my
Yeah.
top 5
Well,
pound
I
for pound list?
yeah.
Yes.
Of
Ryan
course,
Garcia is number one.
Canelo Alvarez, number 1. That's number 1. Yeah, Ryan Garcia. He still needs to do more to get into the top 5, but he can be there. Saul Canelo Alvarez number 1. Juan Francisco Estrada number 2. Vicente Fernandez number 3. Julio Chavez Senior number 4, and the Virgin of Guadalupe number 5. That's my pound
I agree
list.
with that list.
Hey, did you hear Walter Mercado died?
Oh, really? Man, that's so weird, man. Because I was like, I'm going to YouTube that guy because he was fucking funny. That was a few days ago, man.
He's dead.
Well, how old was that guy, man? They don't even know what we're
He
talking
had to
about.
be in his 80s.
They don't even know what the hell we're talking about. All right.
Yeah,
I think he died because he finally looked at himself in the mirror and realized he looked like a lesbian.
I just sent you a message in Discord.
What's that? Oh, right now we have a lot of people, man. Because we're waiting for other guys.
That list you just put up, is that all the people on there?
No, because we're waiting for Jimmy
Yes, it
might
is.
come in, and Mark and Gonzalo, and that's gonna be 8, and we only have 8.
I'll drop off in a
that's
couple
cool.
of
I'll
minutes.
just play
So
the chat. I'll play the chat.
Yeah, I'll send you a link if there's an opening, man.
All right, that's
Hey,
cool.
wait, hold on. Give us your prediction.
For the Donaire,
Yeah.
and Inoue,
Yep.
yeah, I got Monster. I think Monster's gonna do it.
Which round?
Yeah.
Just for extra points. What round? How you think he
7.
wins?
I'm gonna go
Round
Monster
7.
7.
All right. Perfect. All right, man. Thanks for the call, D. Jefferson.
Kevin.
Check out his channel. He has a YouTube channel. So go check his channel out. He's on YouTube. So just click on his channel. All right, man.
Appreciate you.
All right, take care.
all right, take it easy. Oh, come on, man.
It's a family show, man.
Sorry.
All right. Precise, if you want to jump in whenever you're ready to give us your prediction.
Is he there?
I don't know.
We could hear him earlier.
I heard like
I
a
guess
squeal.
he went to get water from the river. Listen. Oh, he's back.
Anyways, he'll jump in when he's ready.
I got new sound bites that I isolated from Saturday.
All right. I see.
In regards to like Inoue, because like I was telling you guys, I think if Frampton, who's 5'5", always not as explosive as Inoue, and that's the thing. I don't want the Japanese fans and the Inoue fans to jump on me and think that I'm not high on the guy. Inoue, listen, he's got the unusual type of power, and he knows how to get it across. Okay, and he's better schooled than Deontay Wilder. My only thing is, I want to see him up against a guy that's not going to fold under the pressure. Because remember, it's like Gennady Golovkin. He was knocking everybody out, right? Coming up. But then by the time he fought the elite, all of a sudden he wasn't knocking them out, and he had to rely on chin, stamina, and technique. And he showed that he was a good boxer. Inoue has not been tested that way, and that's a testament to his greatness so far because he's been able to wipe the floor with everybody. So he is better than the guys like Payano and McDonald. That you got to give him credit for that. But now the question is, can he do this against elite fighters? And by the way, Donaire, I don't consider him elite though. At this point, he's got too many.
Donaire?
Yeah, because he's got too many losses, man. He's lost to Magdaleno, he lost to Rigondeaux, he lost to Frampton recently.
Walters.
Walter, but yeah, that was
yeah, okay. Are you being sarcastic?
No, do you consider Donaire elite right now?
Well, what's elite? Hold on. I think he's dangerous still.
Yeah, he is dangerous, but I'm saying, like when Golovkin,
but I think we can kind of forgive some of his latest losses, because I mean the Walters fight at 130. You know that I don't think. I mean, if you want to take anything from that fight, you might say, well, you know, Donaire. That kind of hurt his career long-term wise, you know, because of fighting a big guy like that and getting fucking fucked up, right? But then again, hey, remember Donaire hurt Walters?
Yeah.
That type of power, man, that can hurt a big guy like that. Take it all the way down to 118. So is he elite?
Thing, though.
Yeah.
We're doing the same thing that we do with Deontay Wilder. If he catches him, if he does this, if he does that, he didn't catch. I mean, he did catch. This is what I like about Donaire. His power is legit because every time he fights somebody, whether he wins or loses, he hurts them. He hurt Frampton. He hit him with a mean uppercut, and it looked like Frampton was in a car accident. He looked like Errol Spence Jr. on a Saturday night. His head, there was a lot of whiplash. And I was surprised. I was surprised that he did not go down, but he recovered and he kept on taking Donaire, outboxing him. So my thing is, if he can't outwork whatever Donaire, and he can't knock him out, what's he gonna do? I don't know if he can outbox Inoue. He's never shown. Donaire has never shown the makings of a master boxer, and if he can't land that left hook, what's he gonna do?
Circle, yeah.
You guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
No.
What the fuck is up with Discord? Shut up. Oh Jesus. Anyway,
is Donaire an elite fighter? Precise.
Depends how.
It's still an elite fighter. He was.
He is. He is. I mean, I know. Burnett was. He didn't like it to the body, but it didn't take him 10 rounds.
He dropped them. Something's wrong with his Discord.
Man, this fucking Discord shit is anti-precise.
Wait, but it's better than StreamYard for you, right?
Oh, for me it is. Like I know I heard you guys talking about it and how great it is. And it is. It's kind of easy to just hop on, but
and then and there's a
it just doesn't work for me, man.
Yeah. All right, we
don't get on his computer instead of on the phone.
Yeah, I think computer works better. I use because I'm always on the go, so I'm on my phone.
Yeah, I was on the phone a few days ago, and I was getting kicked out. It was weird, but anyways, Precise. If you are there, just jump in.
I think I am.
All right.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Fuck. Anyway. Yeah, I was saying he is elite. But to me, Inoue is like a young Donaire. So a young Donaire versus an old Donaire. I guess you got to go with the young Donaire. But there are some wrinkles here, I guess. I mean, like BDA was saying, Inoue does get hit. Supposedly he's doing Vada. Donaire isn't. So maybe he can take his power. Donaire, that is. I don't know. He's significantly bigger too, isn't he? So I think it goes the distance. He might knock him out, stop him late. I think Donaire's gonna take a beating, but I think his power is gonna keep Inoue cautious, and I don't think we're gonna see this crazy explosive Inoue. We may, if he wants to gun. I mean, he's got big balls if that's what he does. But if that is what he does, he might get knocked out. So I think, a lot of the times you see these two big punches with leaky defense get in the ring, and it's either a shootout or a boring 12-round fight. So I'm
Yeah,
going
it's like they
not
decided to
boring
pick up.
necessarily. They just
It's like
they have a lot of respect for each
yeah,
other.
that's what I was gonna say.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like they like it's like that old saying, killers respect killers. So maybe it's one of those type of things.
I think it's gonna go to distance. If someone gets stopped, it's gonna be like either really early or late. I don't know. Anything could happen, man. Both of these guys hit hard, but I think you gotta go with. I mean, it's an easy fight to pick. Let's keep it real. It's an easy fight to pick, but I'm not confident that Inoue wins, because if he fights stupidly, well, he could get knocked the fuck out.
Yeah, and I don't think he will fight stupidly. There's too much at stake at this point.
From what I've seen of him, he does. He fight. I'm not gonna say it's totally reckless, but he does fight to an advantage that Donaire could take advantage of. Like you guys were saying, remember, he's got a good right and a good left, obviously, right? And if you look at the way Inoue comes in when he's letting off his offense, how he likes to go upstairs, then try to go back up. He goes downstairs to go upstairs. He's kind of wide open. I would, if I was Donaire, being 36, fighting a guy who's like 25 or whatever age he is, I'll try to knock his fucking head off within the first 3 rounds. I would just try. If he tries to make it a shoot, that's of course, that's if he tries to make it make his impact early.
Before Inoue settles in, you throw him off a little bit. You just go for it. But then again, Inoue is a fast starter, right?
He is.
Yeah.
I mean, look how he beat up Rodriguez.
Yeah, so maybe that won't work.
Yeah, Inoue's power is legit. There's no question about it. At 118, I mean, he's knocked guys out within the first 3. Think about it. He hasn't gone past 5 rounds in a couple of years now. Donaire, though, he fought a guy like in Walters, and it took Walters a long time, a couple of rounds to chop him up. Donaire has a good chin. He's been in there with everybody. So Juarez, Rigondeaux, Jesse Magdaleno, Frampton. I mean, you name him, he's been in there, and he's beaten a lot of good guys. Mostly more than a couple of years ago when he was in his prime, but nevertheless, he does have a lot of experience. He still has that left hook, good chin. What I think he needs to do is make Inoue come to him. That's always been Donaire's best shot. When guys pressure him, they leave themselves open. He can hit him with that single left hook. And Inoue, when he comes out on the attack, he leaves himself open. He drops that right hand. Sometimes he forgets to pull back the left hand, or he does it a little bit too slowly. And somebody said in the chat room, I forget who it was at the beginning of the podcast, that Inoue tends to admire his work a little bit. And I think that's what's going to happen. Look, Nieves was hitting him. Carmona was hitting him. There was some other Thai dude, I think it was like Inoue's first 10 fights. He was catching him with overhand rights too. The man can be hit. And Inoue, if you give him a shot, he might take you out. We don't know how good Inoue's chin is. He's never really been in there against a big puncher. Carmona's not a big puncher. Narvaez, what was his name again? The Argentinian dude. He's not a big puncher either. I mean, this is the first time Inoue and Donaire's. He's a big dude, man. He is a big dude. Now, the other thing is, I think it was Matthew Fouts. He did a film analysis a couple of months ago about Donaire versus Inoue. And he's not all that. I mean, he's like I do. He has questions about Inoue's standing as a fighter, whether he really is as good as people are claiming to be. And he was analyzing the fight that I also looked at, which is very similar, which is the Nicholas Walters fight. Now, Walters has better, I'll say it right now, Walters has better defense than Inoue at this point in their careers. What Walters was doing, he was making Donaire eat jabs. Not a lot of people have been able to do that as consistently as Walters did. And every time he threw the jab and landed it, Donaire would try to come back with the right hand, and Walters would roll with it real quickly. Jab, boom, roll with the right hand. It was amazing to watch, really. Inoue has tried to do that, and he gets his face plastered with right hands. He's not quick enough to do it. He hasn't mastered that yet, and if he tries to do it against Donaire, he's going to get hit. Unless he's worked out those kinks, because again, if he's as smart as people say he is, he should have corrected those
Maybe
flaws.
he has a very good chin. He doesn't care.
That's what we're gonna find out.
Mm-hmm. But then again, like I mentioned, I mean, Donaire, he hurt that big Nicholas Walters, that guy that saw.
He dropped Rigondeaux. He hurt Frampton. I think he hurt Magdaleno too at one point in there. But don't forget, he was dropping guys. He always hurts them. I mean, this guy he's one of the hardest punches pound for pound in the
That's
game.
real power, right? Like, I mean, there's no things of fake power, but you know what I mean? Like, that's like natural thing, power, like crazy ass power. Let's just put it that way.
It's just that his quality of opposition is so good that he's not knocking them out cold. But if he was fighting C-level dudes, we'd be calling him the next Mike Tyson in there, or the next Manny Pacquiao. He would look like a pound for pound great. By the way, people in the chat room are saying Matthew Fouts is suspect. Why would you? Anyway, I don't want to get into it. I don't know why people would say.
Donaire being a pound for pound fighter, you disagree with that, correct?
Donaire?
Yes. Sorry, Inoue.
No, I think he is pound for pound. He certainly has the potential to be a pound for pound king one day. But right now, when you get guys like Usyk, Pacquiao, Golovkin's still in the mix, Canelo, Lomachenko, even Terence Crawford, cannot put Donaire over those guys. I really can't.
I think, the knockouts, those things always surprise people, they shock people, knockout. Oh my God, this guy's knocking everybody out. He must be extremely good, right? Sure, but when you're a pound for pounder, you have to look at certain things. Like, for example, has he dominated a division? And he just skipped 115, basically, correct?
115.
Yeah, 115.
He didn't fight any of those guys. He didn't fight Roman Gonzalez. He didn't fight Estrada. He didn't fight what's his name again? Cesar Kessoronvisay, Donny Nietes. That's why I got questions.
I have a question for everybody in the panel and in the chat. If Inoue wins this fight, where do you rank him in the pound for pound rankings?
I'll answer that. I have no idea. I can't say.
Great answer.
Great answer, man. Yeah, I guess it depends.
He's checking his
right?
Yeah, he's checking a list.
He's checking his testosterone levels. That's why he's distracted. Listen.
You know what I was thinking? This is what I was thinking. Maybe I misunderstood what he said. Maybe he said, I have high blood pressure. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking to myself, did he say that? Maybe that was his way of saying, hey, you got good, your testosterone level is good because, you're filled with PEDs and your blood sugar is going up or your blood pressure is going up.
You just keep drinking that orange juice.
Yeah.
Injecting it and shit. All right. People are saying, the Quack says I'd put him 6 or 7 in the top pound for pound list. D. Jefferson says top 5. Other people says lower half. Nets Mendoza says top 5. Most people are putting him, I would put Inoue at bottom 6.
Why do people put weight bullies on pound for pound list? That never made sense to me. Like, why? I think this is his natural division now, isn't? Wouldn't you guys agree?
5'4".
That he's finally at his.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's about right there. So everything he's done below bantamweight, he's basically weight bullied everybody. So how does that make a fighter pound for pound? I don't get that. And I know like Adrian Bronner was called a pound for pound fighter when he was weight bullying lightweights and all this other nonsense. But I thought we agreed that was nonsense. Now, if people want to say he's on the pound for pound list, then he could prove to be that. But to me, he hasn't yet proved it. I think maybe if he beats Donaire, I think then he makes a case. But to really put him somewhere close to the top 5, I think he'd have to beat someone like Nery, probably, no? Somebody established in this division.
Okay, but you don't think he needs to move up further, right? You believe that if he...
Not necessarily.
Okay.
No. If he proves that he's the number 1 guy in his division, then he's in the conversation. I think you have to at least be considered, if not proven, considered the number 1 guy in your natural weight division before we start talking about pound for pound. Like, people don't know what pound for pound is, do they? Like, I don't get it. I really don't get it. Why do you put weight bullies on the pound for pound list? Why? Is that too difficult for people to grasp or something? Like,
well, we sometimes we do. We knock like other weight bullies, and we forget that maybe a guy could, Jared heard when he was going through when he was going through that nice little run. I heard a lot of people put him in the conversation as pound for pound, but he's clearly not a 154 pounder.
all of us called him a weight bully. Canelo got the same treatment all the way up to 160, right?
Mm-hmm.
And all these other guys have gotten this treatment. So I don't see why all of a sudden, it's boxing hipsterism. That's what it is. That's why the writers for Ring Magazine put them on. They put them on the pound for pound list because they're a bunch of hipsters.
So you think
basically
it's trendy?
I mean, look, the guy could be that good. And, if you want to put your neck out on the line and say that he is pound for pound, shit, you could be right, man. He could destroy everybody in this weight division, move up and grab a couple more titles, and you're going to look like a fucking genius. That's fine. You can do that. But you can't, on the one hand, criticize people for being weight bullies and then put weight bullies on the pound for pound list. I think that's hypocritical.
Well, you know what it is, too? It's because he's knocking people out. That's what impresses these people. It's, you mentioned Adrian Broner. Same thing. In 2013, he beat, what's his name? His name escapes me now. The Mexican dude that lost to Edwin Valero. And after that, Ring Magazine, DeMarco. And after that, people in the Ring Magazine, they had number 5 pound for pound. And then they sort of capitulated because people were complaining and they dropped him to number 6. But nevertheless, boxing knockouts are to boxing fans, or knockout artists are to boxing fans what money is to women. They will overlook a whole bunch of things. They take a look at that green, and the same thing with boxing fans. They look at a guy knocking people out, and let's not get it twisted. The Payano knockout and the McDonald knockout, and especially the Rodriguez knockout, very impressive. But now, if we want to talk top 5 pound for pound, he has to show that he can dominate and continue.
That's the fight that impressed me was the Rodriguez. Now, I'm not saying it impressed me to the point to put up top 10 pound for pound, but like, maybe he has a shot. I think that if he beats Donaire, and let's say he fights Louis Nery and he beats him, then you could start talking. I could understand people putting him on the pound for pound list. And maybe that's asking for too much, but remember, Golovkin was knocking out the middleweight division, and there were people, that are reputable sources, I put that in quotations, but like, saying that he's not a top 10 pound for pound fighter. I remember that.
Inoue doesn't have the skill of a young Golovkin. Like, it's night and day when it comes to like defense, counter punching, like whatever skill you want to name. Golovkin was like on another level to someone like Inoue. Inoue has skills, he's very good, but the defense sucks. And I mean, he's getting by on power for the most part, and chin.
All right, guys, I have a comment from D. Jefferson says, man, you guys are killing me with the weight bully. Why even use that term when the strategy for weight classes was to drop as low as possible when they introduced the weight classes almost 90 years ago?
Pound for pound means you're able to beat bigger men than you. That's what pound for pound means. It means you're so damn good that you could beat bigger men. And that's not what this guy is doing. So, like, Daniel Jacobs' victory for Golovkin, because of how big Daniel Jacobs was better pound for pound than anything that Inoue has done up until this point. I mean, how does that not make sense, right? Isn't that what pound for pound means? Like, people have lost their minds. Like, they no longer know what that means. And I guess that's the fault of Ring Magazine and ESPN and all these other pound for pound lists, because they don't respect the meaning of pound for pound. But I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's no longer what it used to be, and maybe I'm the one who needs to change.
But if you look at these pound for pound lists, some of these big websites, news medias, they don't tell you what their criteria is. They just say, look, this guy, in my opinion, I got a pound for pound. They'll say things. Sometimes they'll say things. Well, he moved up 3 weight classes. Okay, that's kind of explaining your reasoning, but they don't say, look, pound for pound, and here's my criteria of why, what gets somebody in to a pound for pound list. They don't do that. So a lot of fans just say they don't realize, but not saying that there's nothing wrong with it, because there could be a good list. There could really be a good list, but they kind of just repeat talking points like that. Well, ESPN don't even have, Teddy Atlas gives his input, and he don't have Golovkin in the top 10. It's like, okay, but he never really gave you that criteria, except that he says, "Oh, who has he fought?" That's basically how he explains why he's got somebody on a top 10 pound for pound list and why he doesn't.
What I'm saying is that the criteria is in the name. That, like, does anyone know what pound for pound means? Like, when let's look at it. Let me try to explain this to the people who clearly don't seem to understand what pound for pound means. You could let's say we're talking about weight pulling contests for dogs. Now, the American Pit Bull, it's the American Pit Bull, doesn't pull the most amount of weight. There are bigger dogs that pull a lot more weight than the American Pit Bull, but pound for pound, the American Pit Bull pulls the most weight ratio. So if you take the dog's weight, or the weight that he pulled, divided by the dog's weight, for every pound of body weight, that dog, let's say, pulls 60 pounds of weight. And then you have a 100-pound dog that's much bigger than the Pit Bull that he could pull a lot more weight total, but only about 50 pounds per pound of body weight. So pound for pound, what it means is it's all relative. You could be, you're basically overperforming for your weight class. So like, let's say, so that's the only way. Like, if you put a Pit Bull,
no, I understood. I think we all understood.
You get what I'm saying, right?
Absolutely.
People understand.
Yeah, it's proportional in a way. It's a proportion, right? Like,
right. You have to look at it proportionally. So beating smaller guys than you doesn't get you a spot on the pound for pound list.
Now, this is my question. Just to create a little bit of controversy, can you be right in assessing somebody's real weight or weight division?
What do you
mean? For example, like, we kind of agreed, okay, listen, Inoue's weight division should be 118. Now we can actually start rating him as a pound for pounder, correct? If he establishes himself at 118, like, we're gonna disregard what he did before, right? So we are making an assertion here in a way that we're saying this is Inoue's weight. Now, can we be mistaken? Like, for example, Donaire, he was an 118 champion at some point. Was he a weight bully there, or wasn't he?
I think Donaire's natural weight division is probably super bantamweight, I would say.
Okay, so you never had him as a pound for pounder when he was dominating the 115?
No. Back then he was smaller, physically smaller. Like, he started
112?
about the same weight. Yeah, it's about the same weight as Inoue, I think.
But he didn't fight the top guys also, right?
When he beat Vic Darchinyan, he got put on the pound for pound list because Vic Darchinyan was on the pound for, like, he beat a pound for pound guy.
Right, but Inoue, when he was going up from 112, 115, didn't he not fight some of the better guys at that weight class?
No, he cherry picked.
Cherry picked his weight classes. That kind of like that kind of distorts that pound for pound thing, because he didn't take out like the number one guys at that weight class. He kind of like cherry picked, and then moved up to 118 because he felt more natural there, and he said, here I'm willing to fight these guys because I'm not weight drained. My power is fully there. He did all those moves at the lower weight class for status. In other words, I'm a 3-time world champion, right? But by the time he gets to this natural weight, he's saying, and he could beat the champions in his natural weight, he's saying, hey, I'm a 3 weight class world champion.
Like, when you look at someone like Pacquiao, I keep bringing up this example. He didn't get put on the pound for pound list till he beat a pound for pound guy in Barrera. But by then he had accomplished probably more than what Inoue had accomplished, but he was never on the pound for pound list until he beat Barrera.
Right. He was the number one guy at featherweight.
The flyweight at 122. Yeah.
He won at once. He beat Ledwaba, who was a longtime champion. He wasn't on the pound for pound list until he fought Barrera. Yep.
until he destroyed him, right? Like he was the underdog and he destroyed Barrera. And that's what got him on the pound for pound list. He fought a prime. Well, I guess it was Barrera's like second. He kind of revived his career, but at that time I think he was like, I want to say top 4, top 5 pound for pound, maybe top 3.
Well, Barrera just had
Might have
came
been.
off victories. Like I think he already had like 2 victories against Eric Morales. He had beat Prince Nassim Hamed, kind of like made him disappear from boxing.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was.
Johnny
Yeah, he had
Tappy.
lost some fights, but he was on. It seemed like he was on top of his game still.
Inoue is beating like nobodies and or really small guys that are way past their prime, or weight drained dudes. Like, again, you want to put him on a pound for pound list, go on ahead. But what you're telling me is that like he's gonna destroy everybody at this weight and probably be one of the best guys in the next weight up. That's what you're saying, and you could be right. You know what I mean? But if you're gonna like keep other guys off the pound for pound list, saying that he doesn't have the resume, then do you really have a standard for what it means to be pound for pound? Like, are you, when it comes to one guy, you're looking at his resume, and when it comes to another guy, you're just like going by the eye test. So it's inconsistent.
Some people are
the
going
way I
with the eye
understand it,
test
pound
now.
for pound was like all created because of guys like Sugar Ray Robinson, right? So
Yeah.
Sugar Ray Robinson, when he was at 147, he was a big 147 pounder. He even fought at 135, and then went up to 147 because that was more of his natural weight at that time. So he got credit for fighting guys like Jake LaMotta when he would come in. This goes to like that whole pound for pound conversation. He would come in at the welterweight limit, or maybe a little off of it or a little higher, 147 to like 150. And he would fight Jake LaMotta, who was like 160, all right, a middleweight, a guy who's much shorter than him. Let's not forget that he's way shorter than him, but he weighed more than him, and he would go into those fights and win. Right, he lost one, but he won most of those. So, like pound for pound, they were looking at him and saying, "Man, he's fighting guys that are bigger than him weight wise, and he's winning those fights." And so if that's the criteria, I think that a lot of people are missing the whole pound for pound conversation. It's guys that could actually beat, like you said, bigger guys than them.
It's like when Golovkin was in his prime and he was pound for pound. He said he could have made 154, right? No one wanted to fight him, obviously, but like, let's say he went down to 154 and beat everybody at 154. Let's say he was able to make 147 without VADA testing. It's possible. He could have done it. Like, would anybody have picked a welterweight over Golovkin back then? No. Like, it was assumed that it's not that big of a deal to beat guys smaller than you. You know what I mean? So you could have a guy that's never moved up weight divisions on the pound for pound list because he's the man in his own weight division, and he's beating guys that are bigger than him, like Jacobs. Like, that makes sense. That is pound for pound. But like, no one would have expected a welterweight to beat Golovkin or a light welterweight.
No.
People were up in arms when people were suggesting that some of these guys should move up in weight and fight him. People were like up in arms and getting upset. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they were like, "Don't." He's cherry picking.
He needs to move up in weight. He needs to move up in weight, right?
Right.
So
when he's clearly shown up to maybe to this point, but his prime career, where he's clearly showed to me that he's always been a middleweight and not a big one at that.
Hey, can I mention something real quick to change the subject?
Yeah.
Did anyone watch the Miguel Brichel fight?
I saw highlights.
Man, let me tell you. I keep saying this nowadays because it's a bit of a realization that I made a couple of months ago, maybe even 2 years ago, actually. This whole skills pay the bills crowd, I've said it for a long time now. It's not boxing. If you want to make it as an all-time great, apart from pound, top guy, champion, whatever, you have to have more than just skills. You gotta have 2 or 3 elements that you can combine together in order to be a hard fighter to beat. You don't have to be the best technical fighter. You don't have to be the fastest, the hardest puncher, but you do need 3 exceptional elements that you can put together, and then boom, you become a hard guy to beat. And that's what Berchelt is. This guy His technique is flawed, but man, he's got a chin, he's got power, and he's got balls. That's one of the most important things. He goes for it. Jason Sosa, he's strong. He went toe to toe with Nicholas Walters. He beat Gamboa, in my opinion. And fucking Burchell just took him out. And what was it? 3-4 rounds? His body punching was sick.
I thought it was the fourth round he took him out.
Round, yeah.
Yeah, this guy put so much leverage on his shots, and he will just throw the cup. Now, again, not saying he's a pound for pound great. Don't get me, because so he fights somebody that can actually put some punches together and has, he can stay composed and has the stamina to take advantage also of Burchell's flaws. I don't think I don't think Burchell is going to win. But man, this guy is going to be a problem for anybody. And at this point, these people that are talking about Lomachenko, Lomachenko is docking David Haney, he's docking Shakur Stevenson, blah, blah, blah. Burchell, I think Lomachenko beats him. I don't think he does it with ease, but I think he does beat him. But Burchell, at this point, with his wins over Francisco Vargas, Miura, Jason Sosa, he's done a lot more than David Haney has. So I don't understand these people. Well, I mean, we all know why they're saying David Haney is big ducked, part of their narrative. But Burchell at 130 pounds, my dream fight, if he doesn't get Lomachenko, put him in there against Andrew Cancio. Put him in there against Cancio or Gervonta Davis, fight of the year candidate right there.
He puts Cancio to sleep. I think he beats Cancio up.
Really?
Don't put him in there with any boxers or boxer punchers, and he'll look great every single time out. I mean, I don't know if you've noticed, but they've been putting him in there with brawlers, and that's right up his alley. That's all that he's been fighting, honestly. And yeah, he looks great because he's big, he's strong, he's got excellent stamina, and he's just a tough dude. He's like what Margarita was in his prime. But put him in there with the boxer.
I don't know if you guys. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was going to say I don't know if you guys noticed, but Jason Sosa is he's a street fighter. You guys don't pick up on that? Like you could look at the way he look how he just like has his legs planted and how he throws punches. Like he's really good. Don't get me wrong. What's the word I'm looking for? He's like one of those guys that they transition from the streets, just a really good fighter on the streets that they were able to put that and make it work for him in boxing. I think Burchell is one of those elite brawlers, but I think you're right that if you put a boxer in there with him, they can expose him. And I don't understand why Tank Davis and his people didn't take that risk, because obviously the fight's there for them. I think Burchell would take that fight in a second.
That might be like mostly Margarito, if I'm being honest. But I'd like to see that fight, and I wouldn't count Burchell out by no means. Margarito was compromised in that fight. Let's keep it real. But like Jason Sosa, he was good, but I feel like that Lomachenko fight just took his soul, man, because he was fighting some bum, literally, and he was getting knocked down by a guy that had more losses than wins. Like, this was not quite a year ago. Like, he really didn't look good in that fight. He got beat up, and he got a controversial UD. Like, a lot of people thought he lost that fight. He got beat up by a bum. So yeah, Jason Sosa was pretty good back in the day, but now not that good anymore.
Well, we got to take a couple of things in consideration. First of all, we're talking about weight bullies. Burchell is a weight bully, but my thing is not whether he's a weight bully or how legit is he. I'm saying he's going to give problems to anybody in there. Like, for example, Tevin Farmer. His last couple of fights, he's been standing a little bit more in the pocket. Tevin Farmer's not a runner. He tries to do the Pernod Whitaker thing of staying in there and making you miss. Against Burchell, if he can't hurt Burchell has that type of mentality. He will he's willing to get hit to land 2, 3, 4 punches, and he hits hard. So I don't know if Tevin Farmer, I do obviously better skilled, but can he keep? It's going to be one of those classic fights where can the other guy keep the slugger off of him, and if he can't, he's going to be in trouble. Gervonta Davis, that's a good point about it might look like mostly Margarita, because usually when you have two sluggers, and one of them has, they both have equal power, but the other guy has the hand speed advantage. He's a body boxer as
Right.
well.
That's why I say, you know, like this would have been a nice fight for Tank, but it just didn't seem like they were willing to take that risk, man. Because I would pick Tank to beat him, like for what you said, the faster hands, and he's got power. So that means he's gonna catch the brawler. You know,
bro, that's work.
That's
Javante
work.
is not trying to work, man. That's work. That's miles on the odometer, right? And he might lose.
Lomachenko. And that's work, like you just said, right? But he doesn't want to do that. But somehow he's gonna beat Lomachenko. Ain't gonna give you no choice but to work.
I mean, but that being said, I do want to see Berchel in the mix. I think he's arrived. That you gotta like put him in there with somebody, man. It's no more of these like flat-footed brawlers. Put him in there with like someone who's gonna make it interesting.
Absolutely. And another thing I liked about Berchel is that he's actually, and the commentators were touching up on this, that he was talking to them about before the fight, that he's actually been trying to improve his defense. So this is a guy that's not content with just keep on doing what he's doing, and that's it. I don't have to change anything else. Now he knows he's got some wrinkles to focus on and some things to change.
How old is Berchel?
What's that?
How old is Berchel?
26. 26.
Wow, okay, really? 26. That's still pretty
27,
young.
my bad. 27, yeah.
You see, look, he still has time, right? I've seen guys who transition to become like way better fighters. If you compare Pacquiao, obviously, when he first started, he had a lot of great talent, but you can see he started to become a better fighter as he started to get into his, I want to say, mid-20s, and then definitely took off in his late 20s, right? He took off from there. So there's still chance for him. You see, Barrera's another one. So there's time, but when you start getting guys that are like almost pushing 30 or at 30, you know, they're almost stuck in their way in terms of fighting and boxing. You know, they almost get stuck in their ways by instinct, not like the brain. You know, they want to put in the work, they want to change, but it's like more of an instinct thing. If you do it now for Berchel, and he could become better defensively, oh yeah, he's a fucking problem. But you got to do that now. You know, you got to do that shit right now, and get fights where you're gonna have to be defensively responsible, and because if not, you're gonna get punished for it. But yeah, I mean, I like to see him in the mix and move up to 135 if he can't get big fights at 130.
Guys, we have a phone call. 773 on the air. 773.
What the fuck you guys up to?
Is this Kevin?
Yeah, what's going on? How you guys doing?
What's up? Pretty good.
Doing good. Now watch your mouth.
That's good. Now it's time for these lighter fighters to start fighting each other. You got Tank Davis, you got Berchel, Tevin Farmer. You got who's the Mexican kid that fought this weekend? Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney. All these young fighters in their prime, or I don't know if they're in their prime, but they're ready to take that next step. They need to start competing with each other. I want to see who's going to separate themselves from the pack. Seems like Devin Haney just got a title against somebody I've never heard of, some Russian dude, and that just seems the way it goes in boxing. They just give away titles.
He got his title by email, bro. By email.
He won a contest.
Now, what do you think about these young fighters? Shouldn't they be fighting each other?
Well, let me tell you, man. We're in a generation of pampered fighters. They got a title and they think that earns them the right to call the shots, fight whoever they want, and that's what I dislike about this new boxing fans. They come on the scene and they go, "Oh, this guy beat that guy. He beat 2 titleists. He unified. Anybody can get a title now." Remember Yuri Foreman a couple of years ago? Did that guy have a title? Why? Because he had good connections, he had a good promoter, and they pushed him and pushed him and pushed him. He was able to get a title. It's easy to get a title now. Don't get too hung up on the belts. That's all I want to say.
Yep. I mean, who's Tevin Farmer's next fight? Has he got a fight lined up?
I don't even know.
Yeah, Gamboa.
No, Tevin Farmer.
I mean, what the fuck are these guys doing?
Oh,
Tevin Farmer.
No, Tevin Farmer. I don't know, man.
Tank Davis. Who's he fighting?
I don't think anybody cares about Tevin Farmer.
I was
to be
gonna
honest.
say that. I was gonna say
Come
I
on.
don't give a crap. I mean, he's boring,
These are
man.
supposed to be the next big stars. These are guys that get all the hype. These are the best lightweight fighters, and we don't even know who the hell they're fighting. This is the problem.
No, Tank Davis. Tank Davis. He's fighting Gamboa. Tevin Farmer. We don't know. We don't care.
Whoa. I
mean,
do
he's a
care who
decent
he
fighter,
fights.
though.
What?
Yeah,
What do you say?
I care too. He's a decent fighter. He got a bunch of and Ryan Garcia. I don't care about that dude he fought either. Who's that dude he fought? He's supposed to be some hype. I never even heard of him. I want to see
Wait
him
a
fight
minute,
Devin
what?
Haney. That's the fight we want to see.
You're talking out of your ass, caller.
Oh, you're talking to a Ryan Garcia fan.
Ryan Garcia
More like Ryan
fought somebody
Garcia's daddy.
that-
Yeah.
Hold on a second. Kevin, did
Some
you
Filipino
not?
dude that
Because I think this is what happens. I think
hyped
Kevin
up.
missed the actual fight. I don't think he watched Ryan Garcia's sensational performance on Saturday. Kevin, did you watch how he knocked out a undefeated Filipino powerhouse?
That dude
sure he
sucks.
did.
He's a Filipino height job. He's garbage. Put him in there against Devin Haney. Let's see what he's made of.
Put your hang up on this guy.
Really made of.
All right, Kevin. Anything else?
Man, I'm gonna take a shit on your head. All right? I'm gonna take
Jesus
a shit
Christ.
directly on your head.
All right.
You say that like it's a bad thing. I mean,
Oh, come on, man. Listen, you're talking to...
All right. Thanks for that call, Kevin. All right. That was Kevin.
Ryan Garcia needs to get some longer trunks, man. This guy doing that. What the fuck is going on with this?
It's a good point.
he's got nice gams. He wants to show him off. What's your problem?
Fucking glitter short.
No, but Kevin did make a good point. All these fighters need to step it up and fight each other. I mean, look at Prograis versus Josh Taylor. They fought each other in their primes. They fought the good guys before that, and they finally got it on a couple of weeks ago, and they put on a good show. These fighters like Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, they could take a page from their book and step it up and stop going. Yeah, they spend so much time on Twitter and Instagram posting pictures of them sunbathing, shaving their legs and their eyebrows. Fuck
They're
that.
hoes.
Fight good fighters.
They're hoes.
That's a good point. We're talking less about
Javante
Josh
Davis,
Taylor, who won a.
talking about he's going to headline a pay-per-view.
I was
next-
muted. We're talking less about Josh Taylor than Tank Davis. You know,
That's a good point.
Why is that, man? Like, the guy won a tournament. And
Tank Davis is just a fat boy.
He's a loudmouth, and he's always in the news. He's always trying to like grab the attention for himself, right? Canelo has a big win, and he's punching Bronner, and you know he's trying to make the headlines. That's the scheme with these dudes. It's like make news any way you can. It has nothing to do with boxing, you know.
stay relevant. They're like Hollywood washed-up stars. You know, they always try to come out with a sex tape or some bullshit.
He and Bronner probably make one.
Yeah,
soon.
that's next. Bronner.
Oh,
and, stay tuned, guys. Bronner and Tank Davis, the sex tape will be coming soon.
Fuck. Stay tuned. But yo, how many times do you guys think they're gonna mention Gumbo as gold medals when he fights? Fuck my life, man. I mean, can you imagine? Can you imagine if Loma fucked Gamboa when that fight was mentioned, like what 3 years ago or something? They killed Lomachenko, even though he's never like even confirmed that he wanted to fight the guy. People killed Lomachenko 3 years ago when Gamboa was still shot basically. But now Tank Davis is gonna fight him, and it's gonna be Olympic Cuban standout and 3-division or whatever, 2-division world champion, blah blah blah. Right? Lost to a bum in his last fight.
One of the best fighters to come out of Cuba.
Cuban
The guy
school.
who almost
When-
chin checked Terrence Crawford.
When they introduce Gamboa, they're gonna say Olympic gold medalist.
Yeah.
Hey, Davis talking about he's gonna
You're right.
headline a
Recognize.
paper.
They're gonna play the highlight of him hitting Crawford with some good punches and hurting him. They're gonna
I'm telling
highlight
you.
that shit
I guarantee you.
because that was the highlight of his
Yo.
career, basically.
Hey, Davis talking about he's gonna headline a pay-per-view next year against Leo Santa Cruz. Like he's already announcing the shit. Like he's already talking about it.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go. Hey, you want to talk about fights that are already decided?
Looking past the Cuban gold medalist. How dare you?
I'm disappointed, like because they were that was last year. I think there were rumors that Modest was gonna fight Tank Davis, and we never got to see that matchup. So,
Oh, what a great matchup, man.
Hey, by the way,
that would have been.
that fight between Davis and Gamboa is on December 28th from Atlanta. I think we're gonna be seeing X in the crowd there, but it's gonna be on Showtime, by the way. Probably the last card they ever show. 'Cause I don't know if they're gonna be, I don't know if they're gonna be continue to show boxing on 20.
Yeah, that shit, like Gonzalo said. What he said, he gave a shout out to Showtime because they're going down next.
I'm gonna have to reschedule. I'm getting married on the 28th. That's gonna be a fucking problem. I'm gonna have to reschedule.
Wait! You're getting married?
How are you doing that?
Dude, I thought you was married already.
No, I got no fiance.
he was living the bachelor
Did I
life.
hear correctly?
I just ordered her in. I mean, I just paid for her. Relax.
Jesus.
Don't you have kids with your wife? Or your soon-to-be wife? No. Do you have children?
His children is boxing.
Ah, okay. I'm sorry. I thought he had a kid. I thought he was doing things the way us Puerto Ricans do it. We get them pregnant first, and then we marry them.
Hey, I got disconnected for 2 seconds, but
you thought it was a shotgun wedding?
Yeah, exactly.
Pete, did I hear? Because I dropped out for 2 minutes. Did you say you were getting castrated? Is that what you said?
Yeah, he's getting castrated. His manhood is going to be taken away.
Never, BDA, never.
Yeah. Congratulations on your castration. She's gonna keep him in a jar next to the bed.
Alan Dominic in the chat says, "I didn't know they had gay marriage in Florida. I think it's legal now."
No.
Oh man.
Oh.
Well, who said that? Who said that?
Alan
Dromi-Rick. I can't pronounce that name.
Yeah, exactly.
It's Alan.
Alan Dumrican. That means he's half Dominican, half Puerto Rican.
Ooh.
So he's a dumb Rican.
Domireki.
He's well, we're gonna go there. But also, I wanted to mention the. So yeah, Gamboa.
Butcher said Gook earlier, for Christ's sake. He goes,
No, I
Big
said
Papi.
no. I said Old Papi. His prediction was the Gook's gonna win this fight.
All right, he's not calling in. If he's not calling in, don't bring him up. All right, I don't understand. We don't bring other people up to have more interesting things to say.
It
You
was
bring
a
that.
joke. He didn't call in or anything. So
I know he didn't call in, but I'm saying you read his comment. Anyway, listen.
What you got against Old Papi?
He's a racist. What do you want from me? You think I'm gonna like that type of? You think I allow that type of talk on this show?
No,
we don't. It's a
well,
family
maybe
show.
you aren't, son, but I respect his honesty.
Racist?
No,
not racist. Come on, man. Old Papi's just pro-white.
What's wrong with that?
He's proud.
All right, hold on a
White
second.
and proud, man.
I wanted to mention something. That the Deontay Wilder Luis Ortiz fight. I was looking at the undercard. The last time I said that Fox pay-per-views were good cards, the Pacquiao Thurman, it looked good on paper, and it turned out to be a stinker. And now we have one that looks subpar, but that might actually turn out to be good. First of all, we got Luis Nery versus Emmanuel Rodriguez. That's going to be a good one because it's going to let us know whether Luis Nery is, because some people are mentioning him against Inoue. If he can take out Rodriguez, he's going to make a statement and put himself in line for a fight with Inoue. Then we got Brandon Figueroa versus Julio Ceja. Figueroa undefeated. I don't think he's a drunk like his brother, so we're going to see how good that is. Santa Cruz versus Miguel Flores. Miguel Flores is a guy that lost 2 fights, 2 of his last 5, I think. So I don't know what they're doing with Leo Santa Cruz. Like Bucho said, I think they're setting him up for a Gervonta Davis fight. Because why else would you take Leo Santa Cruz, a guy who's beaten some good fighters, and all of a sudden you put him in there against this guy? And then of course
They're
you got
trying to rust them up a little bit, bro.
yeah,
Well,
that's
yeah.
what. And then you got Deontay Wilder versus Ortiz main event, which I think is going to end earlier than the first fight.
Yeah.
Although, don't be surprised if Ortiz can catch him. I mean, Ortiz does hit hard, and if he catches Deontay Wilder, he can put him out. And I mean, it's unlikely because he's too slow at this point.
If
but
Wilder loses, are you predicting a mass suicide from?
I'm predicting fires in Harlem, the Bronx, Atlanta. Well, what's the
What if
other
it
one?
just hits him with a counter uppercut, like in round one? Wilder, the first time Wilder tries to windmill, Ortiz just like masterfully just
Override?
loads up with a huge uppercut. No, a huge uppercut.
uppercut.
Like, boom.
That's
I
still
think if he catches him. Anyways, go ahead.
Well, just last thing because I gotta go. But yeah, the Luis Ortiz fight, the first one, I give Wilder credit, man. That was a hard fight, and he took him out. But now, why fight? You know, that's the thing. People were saying, his fans were saying that it was a controversy-free win. Because remember that when Ortiz had Wilder hurt, they gave him extra time, Wilder to recover. So they were saying, oh, it's controversy-free, controversy-free. Now that he's fighting an older and fighter version of Ortiz, they're saying, oh, well, it's to clear up the controversy. Well, was there controversy or wasn't there controversy? And if
it's like that mom that doesn't want to face up to the fact that her son is a thug, and then her son goes out there. Her son goes out there and says, "I'm a thug," and then she says, "Well, no, he is a thug, but there's a reason behind that." Right? She has to come clean and say, "Well, because now her son is admitting it." And so, yeah,
exactly. The circumstances have changed,
right?
And then yeah. But guys, that's a pay-per-view for those of you who don't know.
Yeah, I'll just stream that. That's all.
Imagine paying $75 for that.
No, wow, the fans are gonna hate that, right?
Are you out of your mind?
I ain't paying for that.
It's gonna be the LDBC census. Basically, we're gonna find out how strong that community is.
That's a good. This is the time to find out.
Unless they come up with BS numbers like they did with Errol Spence versus Sean Porter, that they said that it made 300,000 views.
Bullshit. Like that's almost a Pacquiao numbers. No.
How much is it? Does anybody know, or is it just standard $70?
75.
You guys predicting 150, 200K?
140, man. But listen, I don't know. I gotta give credit to Fox. They are actually promoting PBC events now. It's not the same as who had the PBC Showtime stuff like that. No, Fox actually taking this seriously, man.
Yeah, NBC, CBS.
NBC, time buys. Those time buys don't even count. Fox is actually promoting this. So 125.
Yeah, but that's on the same day, by the way. You don't want to spring those shekels. Callum Smith is fighting against some dude named John Ryder from England.
Mm-hmm. He fought Saunders at some point.
Okay, he fought Saunders. So I'm not very interested in that fight. But then also on the zone at that same day, the aforementioned Andrew Cancio is going to be fighting. And I don't care who this guy fights. Well, I mean, I do care to a certain extent, but he always brings entertainment and action. So he's going to be taking on a guy named Rene Alvarado from Nicaragua. And I do believe he's he's in the top 10. Yeah, he's at number 9 according to Ring Magazine. His record's pretty iffy, but he is on a good run since 2017. He beat Denis Shafikov by split decision. I haven't seen that fight. I'm going to have to take a look at it. So, and if you don't want to watch the Wilder fight, hey, you can watch the Cancio Alvarado fight. Luis Ortiz. I can't believe people
but I'm excited about. Excited. I'm not like salivating over this fight, but I do enjoy watching Wilder fights because again, I don't know what's gonna happen. Either he knocks his opponent out or he gets knocked out. Because I still believe he's a knockout waiting to happen.
Yeah, he's a knockout case waiting to happen. Now the other thing is we got the rest of the year up here, and about 2 months now. We're already in November, by the way. How time flies. We got Inoue Donaire this Thursday. Then we got Jamal Herring versus Lamont Roach Jr. That's a nice little fight to sort things out at lightweight. Deontay Wilder versus Ortiz. Andy Ruiz versus Joshua, which, I mean, I don't, that fight, again, it's not the best fight on paper, but just the circumstances around it are generating a lot of talk. And if you thought Canelo Kovalev generated a lot of discussion, man, imagine if we get another controversial result here for this one, Bucho. This is going to be fantastic. And of course, Bucho's going to be covering that fight from Saudi Arabia.
That's right. I'm going to Saudi Arabia. You'll see me live. I'll be visiting several interesting places in Saudi Arabia.
That's right.
The bathhouses?
What? The
houses?
Yeah.
No, you going for real?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got his passport ready and everything.
Yeah,
Butch is a world traveler this past 3 years. He's been traveling all over the place.
Yeah, no.
Terence Crawford taking the edge. Egidijus Kavaliauskas. Kavaliauskas, and I don't know. He's a strong dude, but other than that, I don't know. And Richard Comey, Teofimo Lopez Jr. So my question is, this year is we still got some good fights coming up. How good was 2019 for you guys? Bucho, what did you think? Do you hear what I said?
Sorry, I was looking for the fucking mute button. No, I missed what you said also, so.
Oh, did I cut off?
I don't know.
For me.
All right.
Well, could you repeat the question?
My question was, how good was 2019?
I don't know. Who wants to go first?
It was average for me. I mean, couple good fights. Whoop-de-doo.
Yeah, I mean, the question would be which, so far, what has been the most memorable moment? And
Joshua losing, probably.
Yeah.
The fight.
Good.
Wasn't great.
Pacquiao Thurman was pretty legend.
It's a good fight.
Yeah.
That was probably like the best accomplishment by any one guy this year, I would have to say. All things considered. Maybe people want to say Ruiz, that's fine. But for me, I mean, that was just incredible.
Overhand in the chat room says the first half sucked, but the second half is great. Hey, listen. Strada taking on Sorongvisa the second time around. Lomachenko taking on Luke Campbell was a better than expected fight. Errol Spence versus Sean Porter. The Super WBSS tournament, 118 and 140. Ramirez versus Michael. No, what's his name? Maurice Hooker. That was a pretty good fight.
Wilder versus a Blob.
Okay.
Who did he fight? I don't even remember.
Blob.
Oh, yeah. Brazil. Was it?
Yeah.
I can't believe I forgot about. Holy shit, that's how shitty that fight was, man.
Hey, okay, but hold on. We got to give also credit to Canelo. You know, he fought Jacobs, he fought Kovalev, Beterbiev and Gvozdyk got it on. Kovalev made a bit of a comeback this year as well. What's his name? Julian Williams versus Jared Hurd has to be my second favorite moment of the year. The way he just put the brakes on Jamal Herring. We've had a good fucking year, man.
I think that was my favorite fight, I gotta say. Yeah. Julian Williams. What does Gonzalo say?
Soto versus Acosta.
Stir.
Yeah, it's Soto versus Acosta. What?
Fury versus Wallin, says SSB 28.
That's actually a surprisingly good fight, to be fair.
Yeah, that's a fight that Wilder fans are going to be using a lot to make an argument that Wilder will win the rematch. So stay tuned for that.
Triple JJJ says Spence versus the Ferrari. Yeah, that was another surprisingly that fight came out of nowhere.
Great Taylor. We just had Pro Great Taylor. I don't know if you mentioned that one yet.
Yeah, I didn't mention that one. That's the well, I mean, I did mention the WBSS tournament.
I mean, it wasn't a bad year.
Hey, Teofimo Lopez versus Comey. Like I said, this is going to be this year, man, and that's going to be an interesting fight to take a look at. We'll see whether Lopez is really, because we've criticized his ability here before, so it's happening, man. December 14th.
You guys remember when Loma was ducking Teofimo Lopez? It wasn't that long ago, right?
It was a couple of months ago.
He's going to be it's going to probably fighting Lopez or the better guy, and now he's ducking someone else. It's just like, give me a fucking break, man.
That's the thing with Lomachenko. He's never fought anybody, but then when he doesn't fight certain fighters who have never fought anybody, he's ducking them. In other words, he's ducking fighters. He's ducking fighters that have never done squat with their careers. Like Devin Haney. Oh, he's ducking Devin Haney. All right. Yeah,
Oh.
Devin Haney, the guy.
I think Devin Haney passes the eye test more so than Teofimo Lopez, but like the Teofimo Lopez is a perfect example of why a fighter got to prove themselves before we put him in there with someone like Lomachenko, right? Teofimo had this hiccup against the Japanese guy Nakatani, and now we're gonna find out if he's the goods, right? Like he had a little hiccup, maybe a learning fight. If he beats Comey, then fuck yeah, he's worthy of fighting someone like Lomachenko. Devin Haney, he's fought nobody. Like, I agree he's better than Teofimo Lopez, but like, well, maybe someone could expose him. You know what I mean? And then it's going to be on to the next guy. Well, Loma's going to be ducking that guy if Haney were to lose. Let's say, it's just like it never ends, man. This shit never ends.
He's a world champion. I'm sorry.
Loma's the WBC champion. He got his title. Devin Haney got his title given to him, man. He never beat anybody. Like I don't understand how Loma's getting criticized for this when Haney's the one who got the title. Loma got stripped of his title. Like, this is ass backwards, isn't it? Shouldn't people be like complaining that Haney got a free title and Loma got his taken away from him? I mean, and another thing, I'm ranting a little bit. Sorry. Another thing about the Loma fighting the winner of Teofimo and Comey, like when it's convenient, it's all about unifications, right? But then when it's Loma, when it's a white guy trying to unify, oh no, he has to fight his mandatory. It's like, but I thought unifications trump mandatories. What are you guys talking about? Like it never ends with these people, man.
It really is never ending.
These
I was
people.
watching. Well,
What is the disclaimer here?
BDA Boxing, what you see is what you get. That's what Bucho and I were talking about.
That's the new motto.
Should be the new motto. And listen, we tell you don't have to agree with the opinion of the panelists, but we're not going to hold back anymore. That's the thing here. We got to go all out. YouTube algorithms, they seem to punish you for telling the truth. So might as well just keep on telling the truth. Now listen, our opinion as we see it. I want to mention something in regards to speaking of race and outside the ring drama. I don't know what you guys think, but I would love to see Canelo take on Charlo next, just to see the drama that it would generate in the YouTube community. That would be fantastic. I don't know, Bucho. I'm pretty sure you would.
I think that they've given up on Charlo. I'm not giving up, but they've
like even they
paying
see
attention to them. Yeah. Have you noticed that?
Yeah,
they moved on to other fighters, so I don't think that would be an interesting fight.
I mean, isn't
Fight
that the whole
will never
idea?
happen, man.
Isn't that the whole idea of those belts? Isn't that the whole idea of that franchise thing?
Right, BDA.
It doesn't have to happen, right?
The franchise, the whole idea.
Yeah, I thought that was the whole idea, splitting the WBC title so that Charlo can fight like for his WBC title and Canelo can fight for his, and then never have to even talk about each other.
Yeah,
that's what it seemed like to me, at least. You know what I mean?
Well, it was. Yeah, that was pretty much it. I mean, but Charlo's with the PBC, Canelo is with Golden Boy. Charlo was a mandatory. I guess they knew that Canelo wasn't going to fight Charlo anytime soon. And so instead of just stripping him, well...
But that's the thing with Charlo. You know, when they say Terence Crawford, oh, he's on the wrong side of the street. He should leave Bob Arum and going over to the PBC to get the big fights. I don't hear them saying the same thing but for Charlo. They're not saying, hey, Charlo, leave the PBC and going over with Matchroom or Golden Boy or whatever and get those big middleweight fights.
No, because they stuck with the WBC. He's that WBC mandatory. And so because he's a WBC mandatory, he is... yeah. So now he doesn't have to go anywhere. Like, he is a mandatory.
Heyman would send Charlo to fight Canelo. I think he would do that, but they're not going to fight Charlo. No way.
Yeah, Charlo's the WBC champion.
Why would Canelo fight Charlo? He says middleweight's going to be very difficult to make anyway. It's all going to be in-house fights for Canelo from now on, man. He's not
Absolutely.
that good.
Yeah.
Dude's not that good, man.
They're talking about Bivol. Is that true? I mean,
Steve said that, right?
Yeah, that's he's with Mushroom, the Zone. It's a feasible fight.
Who's Bivol with, by the way?
Mushroom.
Well, I don't know if they could protect Bivol from Canelo's weight clauses and all that. Because I mean, if Bivol wanted to, he could tell Canelo to go fuck himself. I mean, it would be a big payday, but Bivol is still young. It's not like the Kovalev situation where Kovalev said, "You know what? I'm on the way out. Let me make a couple of bucks here, a big payday."
Triple JJJ says Bivol at 168.
Yeah, that's.
But no, he has a belt. They were gonna try to go for that belt. Maybe they will do a catch weight with Bivol, because Bivol has said that he would fight at 168. So maybe they can entice him.
But it's interesting how the landscape changed at 175 so quickly. I mean, forget about the Canelo, because I don't even know if Canelo's going to stay at 175. But after the Beterbiev fight, because Beterbiev did show that he's not a come forward. He's not like a Lucas Matisse type fighter that just comes forward winging power shots. This guy can box, and he took out Gvozdyk. Now Kovalev's out of the picture, we assume. So it's all up to Bivol and Beterbiev. And man, I tell you, I know Bivol is quick. He's a classic in-and-out fighter. I don't know if he beats Beterbiev. I don't even know he can comprehensively outbox Beterbiev. And then Beterbiev is a harder puncher. Yeah, man, that's a hard fight to call right there.
Do you guys think Sergey's gonna get like a comeback fight and then fight Bivol? Maybe.
Well, if he has 3 fights,
I think it's 2.
Oh, it's
this
2.
This was the first. Well, this was the first one. Now you got 2 more.
Oh, it's included in the. Then no, they would.
I think so. What if Sergey got like, what if he's gonna be getting like $5-8 million paydays with the Zone? Wouldn't that be great?
It would be great for him. Yeah, sure.
They're throwing around a lot of money. They're throwing around a lot of money, man.
It'd be interesting to see how much he's gonna be getting paid with the Zone. Real interesting.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see who he fights.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, they're probably gonna use him to build somebody else. Maybe, let's see how he compares against Canelo's performance, whoever that is, whether it's Bivol or maybe Callum Smith will step up to 175. I don't know.
Yeah, it's interesting.
But they promised him new fights. Yeah, they promised him new fights. He's got a big name, relatively speaking, especially around that in that division. So they're gonna have to like milk that somehow. They're gonna have to make lemonade, basically, is what I'm saying.
I think these multi-fight deals. I think that it's up to in this case it'd be up to main events to set up those fights and find those opponents and pay those opponents. You know what I'm saying? I don't see too many in-house like the Zone fighter. In other words, that was Golden Boy's card. They're the ones that cut the deal with main event to bring Kovalev in. You just produce the opponent. We're gonna accept it or reject it.
Yeah.
And obviously, they weren't taking anybody, but if they wanted a good fight, But I'm saying it's probably main events. I don't even know who they have over at main. They don't have any options over there. They have to scare somebody
that's
up.
one of the reasons why they included that, right?
Yeah.
And of course, if he would have beaten Canelo, then why would you let him go, right? You're gonna try and keep him. But if he loses, like, what am I gonna do with this guy? Like,
yeah.
Well, I mean, Kovalev's next fight. Kovalev's next fight.
By the way, real quick, Stack Those Bananas. Yeah. Shout out to Stack Those Bananas. Sent a super chat, and he says, "Will you talk about Fury replacing White as the WBC mandatory?" I'm out of the loop on that one. Again, I don't focus on.
Oh, is it because White the tests came positive or something like that, or what's going on?
Yeah, I heard something about that. In my opinion, it's Deontay Wilder and Fury already got a fight. We've been told this for about a year now. They already agreed to fight, so why not just pretend like it's a mandatory, and then Wilder doesn't have to fight anybody for another year and a half. Doesn't have to worry about mandates. So they're gonna kill 2 birds with 1 stone, and White, he's asked out. Should have kept his nose clean, basically.
Well, I don't know about that, but I'll say powder your nose once in a while. Don't worry about it. Have a good time.
So he tested positive for. What I'm looking at the
Yeah, because my mic
news here just to
unplugged.
confirm, because I didn't know what people were talking about.
My mic unplugged, and so there was tons of echo when Precise was talking. So people are saying like,
Oh.
"Am I on LSD or something?"
No, well, I didn't hear anything, but that's because I'm on Discord alone. But I wanted to say something about, because we were talking about main events and the zone, and whether Kovalev really the main events. They're the promotional outfit that they got to work with the big ones. They're the those fish that follow the shark around and they get the crumbs. That's main events. They're trying their best, but they don't. They can't really do much themselves. They're lucky they had Kovalev. I think they've been riding on Kovalev's coattails for years now. But what I wanted to say about the zone is there was a lot of controversy. I want to talk about this on the last show. There was a lot of controversy about they waited for the UFC to start the main event or finish the main event before they started Canelo Kovalev. And on Twitter there were a lot of people complaining. Steven, all right, there's a lot of wind coming off from here and there, Pete. Are you on a boat again? He's handling the boat. He's like he's on that boat that Donnie what was it? Donnie Brasco was on there. Anyway, the point is so yeah, a lot of people were complaining about the zone. A lot of people were complaining about the zone starting that fight, and Steven Espinosa was getting on it. He was taking shots at them. But then there was some other reporter that said that apparently the gamble paid off because the subscriptions for the zone went up right after the UFC event ended. So I don't know if that's true or not, but a lot of people.
It's a way to save. Yeah.
You're telling me you watched that UFC card? That was a damn good card. You know what I'm saying? Top to bottom. You're saying you watched that card and then you at fucking 12:30 at night you fucking rush over and subscribe to DAZN, my ass. Who said that anyway? Who's bullshitting and saying that anyway? Where'd you read that at, BDA?
It was a reporter that said that. I have to find the name, but it's one of those manics or one of those.
He
dudes.
should hang it up. He should hang it up. He should hang up his reporting license. He's fucking faggot.
That's
ridiculous, man.
There was an uproar, man, on Twitter. Everybody, I have some tweets that I saved over here. Teddy Atlas says something along that line. Says this is an embarrassment for boxing.
Was he talking about?
It's stupid.
Did
for
they really
boxing.
make people wait an hour and a half? Is this true?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Listen, they had a runner. They had a runner at the bottom of the DAZN feed, right? That said anticipated start time, walkout time, 12:20.
Yeah.
A.m.
What did they do for? What did they do for an hour and a half?
That's
Because I
Kovalev was
woke up.
taking a nap, man. Almost. Kovalev was on the couch. He was all wet because he was sweating, right? Because he warmed up, but he was laying on the couch smiling. Canelo was just walking around. Yeah.
Yeah, but here's the thing. They put on the bottom anticipated walkout time 12:20 a.m., which is late as fuck as it is, right? But the UFC card ended at like UFC card ended at like 12:15 around then. Excuse me, let me back up. They had plenty of time to do it until 12:20. That fucking fight didn't start till 1 o'clock in the morning, man.
1:20.
1:20.
I remember.
A whole hour past what time they were. Yeah, they were vamping. They were showing these Andy Ruiz Jr. interviews.
Mm-hmm. Devin Haney was there, and
family pictures and it was ridiculous, man.
Oh, it was.
I don't know what they were doing over there.
It was an embarrassment. Yeah.
The other thing is that they showed the UFC fight for the crowd, but that was the main gripe with a lot of people, was that how can you make the people that actually paid for tickets to be there, you're gonna make them wait an hour and a half and watch the UFC? Because I mean, it was this bad management, and I don't know if they're trying to save face with that whole thing about how the subscriptions went up right before the fight, but it was bad. Yeah, it was a bad move from the zone, and now Dana White is taking shots at Oscar De La Hoya, saying he's an asshole, he doesn't know what he's doing.
Espinosa said further evidence of how poorly the zone understands boxing, and then.
But that's the other thing, though. Yeah. It was a big gaffe. It was one time. they're making it out to be like they're doing this all the time.
Well,
maybe
hopefully it's the last time. That's the thing. That's my concern, that they do it again. And I don't think they will, but fuck. And by the way, Teddy Atlas says, bad decision by the brains at the zone to disrespect the fans, the fighters, and the sport by waiting until the UFC fight was over before they let the fighters fight.
There's something more to it, man, because that doesn't make any sense. Listen, I could understand financially the UFC waiting till the zone card was over with, because if you're gonna have to pick up the remote and spend the money and order a pay-per-view, well, of course, like I understand you might want to work around another fight event, but it's a goddamn subscription service. Bullshit. They picked up subscriptions, man. What? Everybody ran out and downloaded the zone at 1:00 in the fucking morning to watch that fight.
They're putting
weird.
They're all drunk and like they're putting their credit cards in there and everything. Come on.
Yeah, man.
What time did they announce that that's what they were gonna do?
12:20.
Yeah, they did.
Wait,
they did. They announced
no.
precise.
They told you at 12:20 that you gotta wait another hour.
No.
They said at approximately at 12:20 that they should be walking into the ring. That's right.
Hold on.
During the undercards. During the undercards.
It wasn't that, Pete. He's asking, when did they first tell people that this
during the undercards?
It wasn't
like Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia's fight. Let's just say.
Pete, lay off the yayo, man.
Yeah,
they said days before the fight that was going to happen. Days before the fight, they said they were going to wait for the main event for the UFC to finish.
And then
that was
at least they give the people some heads up, at least.
Yeah, and then the actual time when it said 12:20, I think it was around 10 p.m. Yeah. 10,
well, that's the other thing, is they thought the Ryan Garcia fight was going to go a couple of more rounds. But then Ryan Garcia had to go out and prove that he was a pound-for-pound fighter by knocking out the guy in one round, and that's what made everything even worse. Because it at what time, if it would have gone, let's say, 8 rounds, they would have been able to stretch that out to, what time was it, 12:30? Or it was later than that?
It didn't matter because they had to wait for the UFC, right?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is for the people in the crowd. Like if they would have
Ryan Garcia, the high rollers, I don't give a fuck.
Anyway, listen, they screwed up.
Yeah, they screwed up. Yeah, no, man, you do that again, forget about it.
But that's the thing. Why didn't they have any confidence in the fact that Canelo Alvarez, one of the biggest names in boxing, could go head-to-head with Masvidal Diaz? I mean, I know Diaz is one of the biggest names, even though he's not the best fighter in the UFC. But they were really afraid of competing. It's different markets at the end of the day. Like the Mexicans weren't going to be paying to watch Diaz Masvidal.
Well, the company
Canelo,
yeah.
Maybe he's losing popularity.
Could be.
He was demoted from T-Mobile to MGM Grand, right?
Yeah, what happened with that though? Was it taken already?
It could have been that. I don't know, but it's a little weird because I thought it was a T-Mobile guy, and not anymore. Or maybe not just this fight. I don't know. It was weird. But look, he was an overwhelming favorite. The narrative was that he's gonna win, and win clearly. Like maybe it just wasn't that exciting of a fight to a lot of people.
Yeah, for us boxing fans, we knew who Kovalev was, but maybe for casuals, Canelo fans, they're like, who's this Kovalev? And what are the odds?
I don't know.
What are the odds 5-1? And I was like, forget about it.
That's what you kept saying, Bucho, right? That's what you kept saying. Like, what do they know that we don't know? What do they know that we don't know? Well, I mean,
yeah.
So,
yeah, that's the thing. Is many, this caused a lot of electricity in the YouTube boxing community, but up to the fight, it didn't seem like I wasn't seeing that much mainstream attention for this fight. Maybe people just on a subconscious level knew that things weren't going to be on the level all that much. I mean, at the day a couple of days before the fight, then that's when the hype started to pick up. But also, I'm interested in what Mexicans think of Canelo, because they give him a lot of covers over there in Mexico, and Mexico is like most of the countries, they have a thing with race. If you are a white champion, they're gonna give you a lot of press over there. And Canelo, he's a big name in Mexico. At the same time, for some reason, there's a lot of people at the media, guys like Nacho Berenstein and Juan Manuel Marquez come to mind. They don't think highly of the guy. I think it was Carlos Zarate, former bantamweight champion, one of the ultimate. He also said he was speaking. I think it was him. I don't want to get misquoted on this, but one of those all-time greats was talking very harshly about Canelo, saying he's got no skills, he sucks, he won't fight anybody. And they asked Nacho Berenstein too. I've seen 2 interviews where they asked him about Canelo. He says when Canelo fights, I don't watch him. And then in another interview, he says when Canelo fights, I tune into the soccer matches because they're more entertaining. It's like they got no. Now that's what I'm saying. Is this jealousy, or are certain Mexicans, do certain Mexicans not like the guy?
They see through the facade, man. They see through the bullshit. This is people like, look, we got Gonzalo, who's a nobody. We got Jimmy, who's a nobody. And these guys get inside information about certain things, right? They talk to certain people on the inside. Someone like Nacho, someone like Juan Manuel Marquez, like, what do they know that we don't know? A lot more. They know what the deal is with this dude, and they're not buying it. Because they had to struggle. Juan Manuel Marquez had to go to fucking Indonesia and get robbed over there. You know, they had to like do it the hard way. And they know that Canelo is just gifted, basically, and they don't respect that.
But that's the thing,
so,
though.
So it is jealousy in a way, but you could say it's, legitimate.
But did Canelo really
justified?
Justified, exactly.
Did Canelo really get gifts throughout his career? Because let's not forget, this guy had to start boxing at 15, and he did. You know, he amassed a lot of fights. A guy that got a lot of gifts was Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that guy got by on his name, and he did get, you know.
Bro, like, that's true, BDA, but like the people that came into the ring with him, they fought him tooth and nail, man. They try to take his head off and kill him. People get in the ring with Canelo and like they play fucking patty cake with his guard.
Well, listen, I don't want to get into the whole thing again, but yeah, I was just asking how.
Well, he's avoiding Golovkin, right? And whether you think Kovalev was bought or not, I don't think. Like, do we really think Golovkin would lay down? You know what I mean? I don't think so. So they're avoiding that fight. Chavez would probably fought him. My opinion.
I don't know. It didn't look to me like Golovkin was trying to take his fucking head off in that second fight.
No, exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's why Canelo doesn't want to fight him.
But there you go.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
I wanted to ask something about the DAZN subscriptions, because Bucho, you know more about this than I do. Are they announcing
not really
how many subscriptions they have, or
no, I don't know. Don't know shit about that. No.
Okay, because I wanted to say, I don't know, because I know Sirius XM, the radio, satellite radio, they don't tell people, or they don't tell their employees the ratings that they have. And I think some people say that it's like a negotiating tactic so that they can never, because if you got a guy, you're telling him, hey, listen, man, you're getting 2 million listeners per day every time you go on the air, eventually that talent's going to go, hey, how about I get a piece of that pie, you know? DAZN, I don't think they're telling people the numbers that they're doing. So it's funny to me that all of a sudden, when after this whole fiasco, they're willing to go, oh yeah, the numbers increased by this much, blah blah blah, during prior to the fight. Well, why don't they release the subscriptions and let us know? Because I'm interested to know whether this Canelo gamble really paid off. I mean, what was the contract? 300 million?
Yeah, some 200 something million, 250. I think it did pay off in a sense. I mean, look at all the boxing fights, first of all, that they're having. It's not only Canelo. I mean, you have Golovkin, you have the World Boxing Super Series, you got the Anthony Joshua fight. Anthony Joshua fighting Ruiz, that's big. And they're going to get a lot of subscriptions. Listen, it didn't hurt having Canelo. I'll just put it out.
They just acquired Sergey Kovalev. That was a great business move right there.
Yeah. Was it worth it having Canelo there, the amount of money? I mean, I don't know. That's a long-term thing, so I don't even if we get all the numbers, we can't really make an assessment of how successful.
Hey, look.
Yeah.
They're in a good position. That's no doubt about it. They got Sorongvisa, Estrada. They can do a third one with that one. I have no doubts that if they want to, they can get Don Inietes in there, Tango with one of those guys. They like Precise said, they just got Kovalev, they got Golovkin, they got Callum Smith, they got the tournaments. They're doing good business with everybody. It seems like in terms of boxing quality and talent, they're putting on good shows.
It's
But
gonna
I'd
be
like
successful, man. The zone's gonna be successful. There's a vacuum that needs to be filled right now, right? HBO just died. Showtime's on its last leg.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna be successful, man. And
by the way,
boxing,
yeah, go ahead.
it's just a portion of. It's not their like number one thing, boxing, right?
Yeah, they were the highest. They were the highest grossing sports app in 2019.
I was about
Highest
to
group.
exactly because people forget. I know America is the center of the world, but you know, in Canada, for example, the zone you get football, soccer. What do you want to call it? Soccer, and they have the Champions League, and they have the Europa League, and they have the English Premier League, which is highly watched over here in Canada. So that's a lot of subscriptions. Also, here in Canada, you get the NFL, and obviously a lot of people watch the NFL here. So, and in the other countries, you get other packages, other leagues, other sports. So they're gonna be successful, in my opinion.
They have what 3 out of the 4 biggest stars in boxing right now. Like who's on the level more or less?
Golovkin,
Who's elite?
Canelo,
Like Canelo, Golovkin, Joshua, and Pacquiao. I mean, you know, you want to throw Ruiz in there, maybe not, but like, well, they got him for now. You know what I mean? It's a good They know what they're doing, man. I mean, you know, like you lose, you beat their guy, you fight for them, you lose, you fight for them. I mean, they seem to have it all figured out. So
yeah, and they allowed one of their fighters. Who was it? The guy who lost against Ramirez.
Maurice Hooker.
Maurice Hooker. You know, okay, Maurice Hooker lost. All right, that wasn't good for the zone, right? Because Ruiz is now he's back with ESPN or whatever. But they took a chance, right? Other promotional companies would no, we're not, unless you guarantee me that, you know, the rematch gonna happen here again or something like that. They wouldn't have done the fight. The zone took a chance, and they took a chance also with Ruiz. Come on,
Pucho, that's actually a good question there. I mean, it's a good subject that you bring up because, in a way, the UFC is a monopoly and they screw over their fighters financially. I mean, compared to the money they're making and the money they're paying their fighters. That being said, over there, a loss is not a career ender that career ender that here in boxing people perceive losses to be. Here in boxing is he lost. It's the end of the world. No, it's not. 2 comeback fights, 2 impressive performances. Boom, you're back in the fans' good graces. I don't think fans care all that much about losses. That's more the promoters making up when people write articles.
Yeah.
Yeah, but real quick, when people write articles and they say, "Oh, this fighter so and so is coming in here has lost, 2 of his last 4 fights," that's what they used to say about Shane Mosley. And then you think, okay, he lost 2 of his last 5 fights, for example. Who did he lose to? And you look at those 2 losses were quality fighters. So that doesn't mean squat losing. And maybe, hopefully, with the zone, if they start consolidating a lot of this talent, maybe they start doing the best matchups and they say, hey, screw the losses. We don't care. We got everybody.
Yeah, you lose, it's a step back, obviously, right? But if you cannot rebuild after that loss, then maybe you weren't that good to begin with.
Great point.
And look at all these PBC fighters who had all these zeros, and then they lose, and then they start losing, and nobody cares about them. So they weren't that great. I'm talking about all those welterweights, man. I'm talking about those welterweights. Yeah.
Case in point, and it brings us back to Inoue. I remember when Juan Manuel Lopez was coming up, this motherfucker was looking good. I thought he was going to be pound for pound a dominant force in there because he beat Jerry Penalosa. He beat him up. Penalosa had gone 12 rounds with Ponce de Leon, and a lot of people felt he got robbed. What's his name? Lopez went in there against Penalosa and just walked through him. He also knocked out Steven Luevano, who was undefeated. I mean, he beat up a whole array of quality fighters. Then he took a Salido, lost twice by stoppage, and ever since then, he's just been cannon fodder for all these other guys. So let's wait. Like you said, if a guy can't rebuild after a loss, then hey, maybe no matter how many good wins he had prior to that, because from a consistent standpoint, he wasn't all that great, and boom, he doesn't deserve to be in there anymore. And also, I wanted to ask something, because Pete said, well, the zone is the best, or it proves to be, from a statistical standpoint, the best app.
Fastest growing, I think he said.
Fastest growing. What other apps are there? I'm curious, because I know ESPN is they got the ESPN Plus app. Do Fox Sports, does that count as an app?
I know there's Bein Sports, BEN. How do you say that? Bein Sports.
Hey, Bucho.
Yeah.
It wasn't the fastest growing app. It was the highest grossing
Oh, highest
revenue.
grossing revenue. There you
Yeah.
go. Yeah, they opened up in Brazil this year, I think, Spain, and they're in another. Then Italy. And they're showing the English Premier League in Italy. I don't know if they watch the English Premier League over there that much. They have their own league, but yeah, I mean, for people who only think that the zone is gonna be made or what's the expression, made or break, whatever, in the US, no, all right, doesn't matter.
Or by boxing. But listen, we were talking a while ago about not views, but how popular it is. It's got like 5 million fucking downloads. When I went to download it, I saw how many. They tell you how many times it's been downloaded. I mean.
Oh yeah. Let me check. Let's see.
But yeah, because I'm pretty sure. Okay, so if you got Fox Sports, Bein Sports, ESPN Plus, probably some other like Russian apps out there or European apps, and Sky Sports, I think they have an app. I don't know if they got something worked out with the zone, and of course, I think you got BT Sports. I think they must have an app as well. So if you got all those apps and the zone is beating them up, then
well, it says 100, and this is on Google Play, not what's the iPhone store? I don't know what it's called. Anyways, 108 million. Oh no, sorry, 108,000. I said million.
That's significantly lower, man.
Yeah, significantly lower.
I don't
That's
know.
not a lot, is it?
Are they saying that it's within the last?
Oh no, sorry. There's two apps. What is this? Oh, I don't know which one it is. There's two of them.
Which you can't read.
No.
But okay, so we got that, and some people are criticizing the ESPN because in terms of boxing, it's true the quality of their fights. Well, I mean, they had Lomachenko, they had Beltran put on a couple of good fights in there, Tyson Fury, but there are nothing that which you would call mega fights on ESPN Plus, or I mean, nothing that comes close to the Canelo events that we had this year, Joshua Ruiz. Hell, even the WBSS main events, the finals were a lot better in quality than anything that ESPN has put on so far. I'm missing an ESPN fight though. I'm pretty sure there was a high-level ESPN fight this year. What are people saying in the chat? Hold on. J-Rock is awesome. Okay. Overhand says they even made a documentary of Ruiz beating AJ. Tyson Fury was burning 100 million. ESPN has been trashed this overhand. A couple of good fights though. Yeah, a couple of good fights, but nothing that you would call exceptional in there. Maybe they start stepping it up because I remember Steve Keem always used to say, "Man, if ESPN gets into boxing, they have the funds to beat everybody." HBO, Showtime.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now HBO's out of the picture.
He wasn't anticipating the zone to come in also with a lot of money.
I don't think
if you go to Google Play Store, I'm sorry to cut you off, BDA. If you go to Google Play Store, it's been downloaded more than 10 million times. More than 10 million downloads.
There you go.
10 billion.
A million? 10 billion, yeah.
Worldwide, yeah.
But is that around the world, or is that, you know what I mean? 10 million.
Yeah, it must be because the price range is from $5 all the way up to $109.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder how
I
many
remember
other
when people were saying that, well, who's gonna watch boxing on their phones? Like, you know how many people have Netflix and they're not watching Netflix on their phones or tablets? You can actually hook it up on a TV. I mean, go ahead.
That's something that sounds like something I would have said 10 years ago. Ooh, I didn't know, honestly, man. 10 years ago, I didn't know people were. I was still focused on TV. I didn't know people were the YouTube, and that's where people were getting their info and their entertainment. I mean, now I know that for sure. I mean, only the baby boomers are watching TV and getting their info from CNN and all that. But now everything's
watching TV. Nobody's watching TV anymore. And why would you even want to watch TV? Why you want to watch the news?
Commercials.
Yeah, go watch CNN and shit. Like, I don't. People aren't that stupid now. Come on.
Yeah. Let me sit through 3 minutes of commercials.
Yes,
You're towels and
some
fucking
drugs. You know, they're fucking selling you legally, right? Just before the news. Get out of here.
telling you that Vivex. If you have trouble getting your an
and
erection,
then the
Vivex.
symptoms, it's like you actual death. Like seriously, man, you might actually die. You take this shit. But meantime, there's a guy, an old man in a sailboat, telling you that you might die, but you might also be sailing.
Oh, are you talking about Pete?
Yeah, that's the same thing. Being in a sailboat, and I would have died than being in a sailboat.
Anyways,
yeah, nobody watches TV anymore. But it's interesting that I remember 15 years ago that there was an article on Ring Magazine. They were talking about what is the future of boxing, and they were talking about how, because at that time Max Boxing had streamed Kermit Simtron versus some undefeated dude, and they streamed it on their platform. Now again, that was in 2000. Well, it wasn't 15 years ago, but it was in 2006, I believe, 2005, 2006, and the quality was so. You know, it was 2005. Now though, you got all these apps. You got that. You know, back then people weren't watching videos on their phones. It's completely different now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can watch the fight, rewatch the fight. Hey, fucking when Chris John fought, you know, Precise mentioned that fight, Chris John Marquez. Yeah, I had to download the fight on one of those peer-to-peer streaming sites. It wasn't even torrent; it was a different one. It took 3 days to download the motherfucker, and the quality was 360. You know,
nobody watched that fight. Let's be honest. I mean, they saw pictures on magazines, and that's it, man.
Exactly. Now, hey, a fight happens, boom, it's on Daily Motion, it's on YouTube, you can get it on a torrent. If you have the app, you know, if it was streamed on a reputable app, you can catch that fight.
That's why the possibilities for the sport to grow are endless, but I don't know if these people know how this technology works.
By the way, Bucho, Nez Mendoza says, how about he mentions a certain torrent site there, and so did Cinemas. Yeah, let's just make it clear right away. We do not condone piracy over here. Everything should be
absolutely not.
Up and up.
That's against the law. That's against the rules, right?
It's against the law, yeah. We don't do that.
Internal rules.
Oh, somebody's going way back. Bearshare.
Napster.
Napster. Oh man. Well, man, but it didn't last. But it was. What did they say? It was like a comet burned. Oh, no, which one is it? That the one that burns quickly but burns bright? It was a comet or asteroid. Anyway, one of those. Whatever. That was Napster, man. How much? Butcher, you use Napster, right?
Yeah, I use it. I still use it. Yeah, of course. Oh,
no,
Kazaa, man, Kazaa.
The 90s, in the late 90s.
I think I did, man. Kazaa, Dead Space.
Yeah, people
Friendster. What the hell is this? Dial-up BBS.
Gonzalo says BDA has MySpace. I don't even use any of those. I used to have a Facebook account just to stay in touch with certain people, and then when I said, you know what, screw Facebook, I'm gonna cancel my account there. They actually give you 20 days. They keep it active for 20 days for some period of time before, in case you change your mind. I didn't want to change my mind. I knew I wanted out of there. In fact, I'm pretty sure that if you do not have a Facebook account, they put you in a special list somewhere. Hey, this guy's a weirdo. He doesn't have a Facebook account. Well, guess what? Maybe I'm a sane person in a world full of insane people. What do you think about that, MySpace? I mean,
you're
Facebook.
Not insane.
Overhand says BDA has Grinder. How do they know that? They're looking to my account. BDA saved his free AOL online CDs. I actually do have a free online CD, AOL CD somewhere around here. I think a Netscape too. Or what was it? Netscape? Yeah. Anyway, look, it's turning to the BDA nerd show here.
Yeah, I know. People are asking for Stu, man. We don't know where he is, man. Stu, if you're listening, what the hell are you doing? Come back to the family.
No word from Stu. Like he just checked out for a little bit.
Well,
he didn't say, "Yo, I'm out to be gone."
Remember, he started showing up, and in the chat, and he says, "Yeah, I'll be there next weekend," and then nothing.
Yeah, you guys are talking about technology. My uncle, you guys talking about MySpace and Facebook.
Yeah.
My uncle doesn't even understand that there's a difference. He calls it Spacebook. He thinks it's one fucking thing. So you'll take a picture of him and he'll be like, "Hey boy, don't be putting me in no goddamn Facebook." That's what he calls it, Facebook. Fuck out of here. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about, man.
It's time to put him in the home.
I give it the
Fucking
communist
around with that
name.
phone. Hell no. He fucking gets it done, man. He just doesn't fuck around with the y'all fuck around with them phones like a bunch of broads. Fucking Facebook.
Well,
I
has
call it the Cosmo book.
Yeah, your uncle has a point about everybody on their phones like a bunch of broads.
Yeah, it's true.
By the way, can you imagine? Can you imagine if Stu would have been here this past Saturday with all the hijinks we had with Canelo Kovalev? I wonder what his take.
Would have been great.
Yes,
It would have been biblical.
Stu, if you're listening, you gotta come back, man. The people have demanded it.
Yeah.
I don't care if you've got health issues. I don't care if you got wife issues, whatever. The show is more important. You know that.
Handle that shit later. Come on back.
Yeah.
Still be back.
All right, guys, let's end the show. It's been a while. We got our predictions in. So, time to say goodbye.
Hey, thanks for having me, fellas. Sorry I'm a little low on it. I'm gonna go home and hang it up right now. It's been a long one for me.
All right. Have a good night.
But I appreciate you having me on for the Inoue Donaire. Sorry I didn't know much about either one of them.
Excuses. Oh, but all right. Take care, man.
I'll be up at 5 a.m. watching that fight. I'll report back.
All right.
Yeah.
Perfect.
See ya.
Who else in the chat? Everybody in the chat, thank you for joining us. Thank you for Stack Those Bananas and Chris K for the contributions. The Hand History Vault also. Thank you for. Oh, and Maxipad. Thank you for the contribution. Yep. We'll see you next time. Remember, guys, the fight is on Thursday at 5 a.m. Eastern Time. It's not on Friday. It's on a Saturday. All right. Please hit the like button. And if you want to support the show, we have a Patreon. We have a PayPal account. And that's pretty much it. The links are in the description.
Apparently, I have a Grinder account too.
A Grinder account? What the hell is that?
That's a gay. That's a gay hookup up.
Oh, Jesus. What's the other one? Will people have STDs or something? There's one for.
Oh, I don't know, but you're asking the wrong person.
Guys, have a good night. We'll see you next time. Take care.
Peace.
Wait, that's not the song I wanted to play. Let's play this one.
Let me play
You want what?
The soundboard that I used. That I took from Saturday. I isolated that. I'm gonna keep playing that all the time. Make people think that he's actually calling in.
Good idea.